pressing all the wrong buttons. It's incredible. Alright, try and fix that. Hello guys, how are we feeling? Hi Ellie. Yeah, I'm working. Hey, you've had your playtime. I don't even know what we're gonna cast, to be honest. I don't even know what we're really gonna cast. We go out to Europe and see if there's anything over there. Bum 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 bum. Maybe go into like the Goblin matchup or something to start the day on. Seems fairly reasonable. Alright, we'll get going in a few moments though, guys. Again, thank you for joining us for the qualifier already. Do, 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 do. Ellie, get out from under my desk. You have absolutely no reason to be there. I didn't think so. Could maybe just go for the Goblin matchup and then the winner plays Spirit. Kind of like it. Do it. Let's do it. Alright, guys. Hello, hello, hello again. Good to see you all. You all feeling good? Damn. Just give me 2 minutes to be distracted and we'll, jump in a thing. Sorry, my freaking microphone's... sorry. I'm all over apparently. Geralt's telling me there's a banger alert. Okay, let's go for Geralt's game then. Sure. He's gonna play GG Machine in a PvC. So let's go Geralt versus GG Machine. I was gonna go for the Goblin match, but they're not ready yet, so we'll jump into this one instead, guys, and we'll get into some StarCraft. Alright, let's do some PvZ then. As Geralt should be a heavy favorite here. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what the game gives us. As we load into Tokamak to start us off, let's get it going. In the bottom left, our green Protoss player, this is Geralt. And in the upper right, our red Zerg is Machine as we get into our opening game of the day. Hello everybody, this is the WardiTV May Qualifier number 2. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all feeling good. I hope you're all excited for some StarCraft 2. Like I say, going to be covering this qualifier today. Not going to be a super long stream again. Again, these qualifiers do not typically last super long or anything, but yeah, we'll get into this, see what we can do as we get Machine and Geralt up and rolling to begin with. So we get this all started, a couple of drones flying away, hatch coming through, that gateway and the simulator coming up as well. So a little bit of everything on the way right now. Need to edit the health bars. Perfect. So yeah, just a little qualifier today, guys. Probably just going to be 2 to 3 hours. And then tomorrow and Friday we'll be doing GSL replay casts, so you guys can tune in for that. It'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, that's kind of our week. Then Saturday and Sunday will be the group stages of this tournament, which that means I'm going to have to start getting that set up, so that'll be fun as well, I'm sure. Amazing. Alrighty, probe is nibbling away. Again, this early game not looking too crazy. We'll follow this probe because that is the exciting part until an adept or so takes its place. Especially because there's nothing really going on the Zerg side, so... I'll just keep an eye on this probe for a few moments, and that will be our opening here for these early stages. Probe continue to come back around and seeing a little bit of what's going on. Just going to be having the adept coming up, a couple queens and the link speed coming over as well. And a couple of links is going to get straight over there and jump onto that probe. So that probe will take a few shots of damage. The Stargate starts up on the side of Geralt too. Yeah, that Nexus is about to finish. The probe about to finish adept as well. Link speed coming back over. And a couple of queens. And we'll also be producing on through right now. So just going to bring that all up. The adept going to shade back around to the center. So adept is coming up. Also going to be seeing the creep tumor taking some shots. A few Zerglings are going to be firing away as the link speed's still coming through. The extra lings, the Overlord, and the Queen in production. And yeah, we'll just have ourselves the Adept Shade. Gonna cancel up for a couple of moments. So Queen's link speed continue to come through right now. The Oracle and the Warp Gate coming about as we speak. And yeah, those few Zerglings still just gathering. As we do see the two Adepts up to the top, just gonna hang around for the moment. And look to see if they can get in to maybe deal some damage in these early stages. See what we can do as they, at the very least, get a Creep Demon to start off with. So Creep Demon going down. Now these Adepts shade, and the Lings looking to get a wraparound. Going to catch one Adept right off the bat. Second Adept taking some damage as well. Going to take some nibbles, and then recalls out. As Geralt will just have the Oracle still cruising here for a few moments. Going to keep this one back at home. Might be nice to obviously deflect any Zerglings to try and show up and so on. Might be a fairly reasonable way to approach this. Those Lings and latch themselves onto this Gateway straight away. So Gateway taking a few shots of damage. Oracle drops the Revelation again to push this further back. Warp Gate coming up. Gateway, Nexus, Twilight Council all coming online. We continue to get settled in here for this game. One of the best of three. As the Twilight Council and Forge both coming online as well. And we will see where we go from there. Overlord just obviously going to check by too. A little bit more of an idea of what's going on, keeping an eye on everything. The melee upgrade coming up, the drone's on the way. Had a Spore Crawler in just for the moment. Both of those Oracles will go on a little bit of a journey. Heading out over to that right-hand side. So these couple of Oracles is going to be setting through. We got one Queen already there, and a couple of drones taking some shots. So we see some hits. Just going to see the Queens and the Spore continuing to deal damage. And again, nice to come in. I'm just going to get some shots off. Oracles take some hits. The extra drones coming through. The melee upgrade coming up on the Evolution Chamber. And some Overlords, Queen, the Lings. And we do have +1 and Blink coming up on the Forge and Twilight Council as well. So we continue to come through with all of this as the Adepts make their way right up to the top. And they're going to just threaten that shade once more. So again, keeping active. And looking to try and obviously get some damage done. You got the Oracles to back this up as well. They're going to commit into the back. They're hitting a Queen right now. I mean, if you hit the Lings, I don't hate it. The Oracles are just really far away. I mean, we nearly kill a Queen, but not quite. Now we're just going to fight the Lings in a choke point. But the Oracles have not been in a good position at all. I mean, finally they're going to start zapping, but then they barely get a drone as well. Just felt like there was so much possibility. So much more potential in what we could be doing here. As now the Oracles will turn onto a Queen in the main base. An attempt to try and come through for that, but that's also not going to be too successful. A couple spores coming up. Melee upgrade coming through from Machine. On the other side, some Lings are going to start poking and prodding. They're going to try and deal some damage as well as the Stalker pulls back down to the third. Another Stalker warping in. Melee upgrade continues to build. The Oracles move about. 10 drones currently in production as that melee upgrade will be finishing, and we still have these Zerglings putting some work in. A couple of Stalkers will end up going down. Now a couple new Stalkers going to get warped in instead. It's a nice little counterattack, and honestly, I really feel as though Geralt has just not achieved all that much this game. You know, 3 Stalkers and 5 Adepts dead. He's got a couple of drones, not even that many. And then obviously, you know, some Lings have gone down too, but I think Machine's been in a very comfortable position and maintains himself right now in this spot where he's on 81 drones, Hydra Den coming up. I mean, Geralt is getting all of the tech all at once. I actually do think I'd be worried if Machine hit some kind of like... I mean, it wouldn't be a timing because you're on a massive drone count anyway, but like, the first wave of Ling Hydra, I feel like has potential. Like, if he goes as Hydra speed is finishing and hits an attack, you know, he's probably going to hit just before Storm is finished. Fleet Beacon's going to be a useless investment. Charge might not even be done. That'll be very close as well. Like, there's just so much being built right now from Geralt that's not going to be in play for an initial attack if Machine doesn't hold up and if he just goes. Now, obviously, again, that's very risky to just full send it, so I don't hate that we got an Infestation pick coming down. I think the smarter choice is to set up for the future. Just, even if he just sends it with the units that he has just naturally, I wonder if he could maybe find something of a time. And I guess there will be a lot of Stalkers, though, and with a lot of Stalkers available, that will make life a little bit more challenging. These Zerglings coming back around as well. Stalker's still there, Storm on the charge. Continue to build through the +2 attack coming up. Stargate on the way through as well. So we are getting ready to build even more higher tech units right now. Things wrap around. Zalds will take some damage. Then see both of those going down already. A nice little denial of the Lings, but honestly, a few Zal kills. It's not half bad on the Zerg side either. Storm coming up. Will finish. Yeah, they obviously never really kind of decided to attack or anything, but I don't know. Maybe he really was just too. I mean, he added on a bunch more drones since we last talked about him, like attacking if he just hits units and just goes. Maybe if he didn't have those drones on, maybe my plan could have still worked out, but hey. I'm not in the game, right? So my plan's probably just utter chaos. Probably doesn't work, but I like the idea of it. I just felt like I was doing everything all at once. And like I say, if there's any investment into just stopping him doing everything all at once, I think that really has got potential. But in this case, it's a little scary because now Geralt kind of gets away with it. So now as the Zerg, you're playing against Tempest, so you're playing against a Protoss player who's really got all of the tools that he would like and need. So that's obviously a major benefit as that Hive about to finish. The Spine's coming through. And Lurk is still just morphing in. Add an +3 melee upgrade onto that as well. And the Seismic Spine's coming up right now as we get that Lurk Den continuing through. So again, we get that settled. The Lurkers already kind of stepping forward here. These Stalkers just have to blink away. Obviously, Lurkers do not have their speed or anything just yet, so they're not at 100% power, but definitely starting to get this point where they're going to be a little bit threatening. That's exactly why Geralt has prepared with the Tempests. Those Tempests should go a long way. We will lose this base though, as the Tempest count isn't super high just yet, so Geralt can't be as threatening as he might want to be. The Lurk is still coming about, the Ling Hydra coming through. End up pulling back around that right-hand side. The Zald's going to go charging straight into this wall of spines. I'm just going to see those getting shut down easily, so that run by goes absolutely nowhere for Geralt. Nothing gained from that. Spider's about halfway done, and you have ourselves a 5th Nexus coming into the center here. Lings around the bottom, and they are going to get themselves ready as well. The Stalkers and the High Templars move over. Just going to be seeing the Spire on the way, 8 more Lurkers on the way. So it's going to continue to move about. Three Zerglings going down still, so harassment continuing, as we are going to have ourselves the, yeah, at this point, right, like, we are kind of setting up towards the later game armies, you know, this is Spire finishing, we're very much so into a high Tempest count, Mothership, Storms, like, there's a lot of games that will not look very different to this for, like, the rest of the game, you know, obviously, with Corruptors added on expectedly from Machine, that's really the big difference we'll see soon. Otherwise, this army can kind of last both players quite some time in this matchup, so we'll keep our eyes on it and see what we get as the High Templars again lurking underneath. The Lurkers actually do get in position over here, and they will get a siege up. So burrowing through, and Time Ball coming down. The Stalkers again blasted by the Lurkers. We will unburrow them and run them away, though, afraid of obviously the Tempest just chasing them all down. We've got to go around an awkward corner here as well, unfortunately. I think the Lurkers will continue to be chased. Mothership cloaking will fade soon. And everything else is going to pull back over this side, so again, take a couple of moments. +3 missiles, +1 carapace coming through. That Spire on the way here from Machine as well. So like I say, just get those Corruptors up. That is going to be the next stage of this. There's that +2 air weapons and +3 ground attack also being invested into right now. A lot of those Zerglings going to come swinging around down to the south side, so they're going to reposition themselves and try and hit a run by. I feel like this is the kind of game where Geralt is feeling pretty good about, because I feel like he thinks like this is pretty well controlled for himself. Like, he's in control of this game. I don't think Geralt feels concerned. You know, he's stopped all of the run-bys. They are not going anywhere or doing anything right. So there's been a lot of positives for Geralt. In a game that you might just look at and say, well, it's been kind of back and forth, right? But I think Geralt's just exactly where he wants to be. And the later this game goes, I think Geralt feels more confident in his army control and his multitasking to be able to take this through to a victory, more so than his opponent is. So keeping that in mind. As the Zealots get through there, Queen goes down. Tempest and Mothership flying back over the left side. And +3 missiles, +1 carapace coming through. The Lings in the bottom right, moving about, as well as a couple Tempest shots. Firing, but not really finding all too much just yet. As a couple creep tumors will start to go down, the Lings are going to come and play wrap around, get rid of a Stalker as well. Couple Lords load up and come over that left-hand side. Zealots are going to go and get rid of the hatchery in the bottom right. And just see the +3 and the +1. Still building some missiles and carapace coming through. +2 flyer carapace coming up on that Spire as well to make our way with these dropper lords in. I mean, I like it. It's the way to kind of throw Geralt off his game a little bit and maybe catch him a bit off guard. I don't know where. I love that the Corruptors are accompanying this as well. So if you recall back in the base, the Tempests are going to be immediately under threat. And you can cause to down a bunch of production here as well, just to help speed up the process of what these Lurkers are going to get done. And yep, this main base under some heavy fire as Stargate goes down. The fleet beacon will likely follow. Like I say, you got to be super careful with the Tempests. Flying them back in when the Corruptors are nearby is obviously a little scary. Ideally as well, these Corruptors protect the Lurkers if they want to get away in the Dropper Lords. And then you can stop them being chased a little bit. There's a few Lings coming through too, so they're going to help to get rid of some of the probes. On the mineral line, 13 workers. Looks like the main base will end up going down. The Corruptors did take a beating off the Storms, and so they're going to be a little cautious here as the Drop Lords do play the evacuation. And like I say, we're just going to keep the Corruptors in an aggressive position just to try and make sure that nothing else happens. Obviously, that's not cheap because you're still taking damage on the Corruptors. You're still taking hits on those. Oh, nice Stalkers actually intercepting a few of the units as they come back around this way. Love that. As we force the drop, and that's yeah, definitely a little bit of a spanner in the works from what Geralt was planning. Most Lurkers going to sit there. High Templars full of energy just go down too. There's not enough Corruptors. I don't think we should ever be flying back into this. I don't think there's enough Corruptors at all. There's a few more that are going to show up right now. But yeah, the Corruptors are going to kind of fall short. They get a few Tempests, don't get me wrong, but now you've got to rebuild your entire Corrupt army, and that ain't cheap. I just don't know what he thought he was going to get there with those Corruptors. I don't know, like, to me, you have to kill so many more of these Tempests to make this worthwhile, and it just didn't seem like it was ever really going to happen, to be honest. The Tempest shots continuing. Spines going down. Immortals are right there as well to hit those Spine Crawlers too. Going to see the Queen. A couple of those Corruptors going down as well. See, this is the thing, for all the coolness that we did as Machine there, you still got an army of Geralt that's freaking terrifying. I just don't know if he's doing much to stop that right now. Once the Tempest will go straight back onto the gold. Look at just nibbling. Stargate will take some damage. We do see a couple of Zealots getting warped in. Mothership still coming through. Armor upgrade coming about as well. Still got the Corruptors and the Lurkers coming back over. With a little bit of consuming being done, just getting some health off this hatchery. And you'll see the Tempest, Stalkers, the High Templars, and Immortals stepping their way through. Up to the top as well. Geralt wasn't lying when he was like banger alert. He was not fooling around. Well, we got ourselves the army still moving about. Just going to be seeing the lurkers get burrowed. Turn back around to the center of that lurker. Finding a few shots already. Stalkers blink in. Lurker goes down. It's one expensive army. Actually a lot of gas on the Zerg side of the map as well, though. Both players actually have pretty expensive armies because it's pretty much purely tech units. It's so rare you see a Zerg army that's like purely tech and basically no Zerglings, but that is what we've got ourselves happening here as these Corruptors come and cause its spray straight through onto this Nexus, and that will go down. So we get rid of a base, but again, it's so expensive for Machine, who's losing so much in the process. I mean, the Stalkers step forward, but it just forces the Lurkers to burrow. Lurkers burrow again, Corruptors peel back. Army continues to that upper left-hand side. It's just trying to see a little bit more of what's going on. Lurkers burrow up. Corruptors is going to spawn out. We do see some extra voids coming through. The Nexus, batteries, and cannons will be brought into play as well. So just get a lot of that on the way through. Plus 3 carapace, plus 3 flyer attack as well. Like I say, just a lot of upgrades for these final stages of the game. So that is coming through. The cannons, the batteries coming up. Void Ray is very much so still gathering on in together. Seeing the rest of this army settling down as well. Continue move through for a few moments. And the Tempest is going to come pushing straight on up, so just going to come straight through with that. Looking for some opportunity again, just consistently here pushing around and, you know, trying to hold as much presence on the map as he can for the moment. Pull back a little bit, gathering the bottom. Just going to see those Corruptors, the Vipers, the Overseers also gathered up as well. King Hydra joins too. We're 20 minutes into Tokamak here for this opening game. Nice. By the time we come out of this, it might be semi-finals time on the other side of the bracket, by the way. If the rest of the bracket is not as long as this, then yeah, that could be kind of funny. Anyway, we continue to line up a few shots here and there. We have a couple of Void Rays coming about. The +1 armor coming through. Things will get onto the cannons there. The storm's coming down. The top left-hand side, this army pressing through. A little bit of a blink forward, chase those lurkers for a while. The Machine is still just bleeding out. I feel like he's, like I say, he's done things nicely to really kind of slow Geralt down, but I still feel like Geralt's been in pretty good control the whole way through. You know, at the end of the day, like, yes, Geralt had his main base attacked, and I think that was maybe the biggest kind of downswing for Geralt in this game, but otherwise, like, it's just been... It just feels like he's never really been challenged. It just never feels like he really ever feels threatened in these situations, you know? And that's obviously kind of rough on the Zerg side. If the Bros is just sat here on this amazing army and an amazing tank the whole time, he can afford to lose his main base, right? Obviously trying to get some abducts off here to find some efficiency. Those Void Rays are going to have something to say as well. If they can reach the Corruptors and cosmetically aligned, it's going to be pretty nuts. Looks silly. How do you win as a Zerg? Probably just a combination of good spellcasting and so on. I mean, the thing is with this Zerg army, you're missing spellcasters, right? Obviously, we just saw a couple of Vipers die, but you could have some Infestors as well. The reality is that winning this as a Zerg is a much longer-term kind of investment. And the problem that Machine has is he invested heavily into the middle stages a little bit, because he, like I say, there was a point in this game where Geralt just did whatever he wanted. You know, he built everything all at once, and you didn't stop the Protoss from doing that. Now, if you don't stop the pros from doing that, you're going to end up punished, right? Because the Geralt really got into a dream position. Meanwhile, you know, Machine was just on his way to... Like, imagine Machine was on his way to, like just decided, hey, I'm going to skip straight to Broodlords or something. Like, if he gets away with that, he can do a lot. And that's kind of what Geralt did. You know, he just built everything all at once. The Lurkers never showed up in that time frame to really punish him. And so he's always been stuck on this kind of Lurker Corruptor army with never any real potential to go any further than that, because that's just the army he got himself stuck on. By, you know, playing the mid-game and trying to play the mid-game, but not actually hitting aggressively enough in the mid-game either. Like I say, the big drop in the main was a cool idea, but even that probably came too late for what he needed. And he did a good amount of moving around and denying some bases as well, but like I say, there's just a lot more necessary than that as the time walk comes down. Corruptors get pushed away. And these Corruptors just kind of ping-pong between bases right now. Not really a big deal. You got a few Zealots in the bottom right defending against Lings. Batteries are going to run out of energy, but we could probably warp in again here soon. Machine is still just bleeding out units. No, these Corruptors are trying to figure a way. I mean, they could just fly upwards and outwards if they want to. I was going to say I expected another warp in over here, but apparently it hasn't come, so this mineral line is going to be defeated. The Templar came in and dropped a storm. So we'll clean up the Lings, but I mean the base feels very replaceable as well from Geralt. He's got 10k, 8k. He's not in a rush to be mining, you know? It's not like it's like, I need to keep this base mining right now. Same for the Zerg in this scenario. Losing this goal is not the end of the world, but does need to keep it up eventually, as we do see the Corruptors just committing. The Void Rays will shred through a lot of them. We actually just move away because the Lurkers burrow up nearby, so we move the ground army out. But, yeah, I mean, you look at the production, it's like 20 Corruptors being rebuilt. You can't do that forever. The bank from Machine is still sizable, but it's getting smaller and smaller. So now these Lurkers actually getting caught a little bit too, and that's not ideal. I mean, you lose these Lurkers, that really is a core portion of your army that's just now not in the game anymore. I mean, these Lurkers have done a lot. They've stopped the ground army from just doing whatever, and the fact that these Lurkers will now be dead, apart from this one that isn't seen, kind of a big factor. It looks like the Corruptors flew in at the back at the same time and will not go anywhere. GG's, and Geralt takes game number 1. Big 20. We've had long games in these qualifiers, by the way, because we had some long games yesterday, too. That was a long 25-minute opening game of the day. How about that for some StarCraft? As, yeah, just a Protoss that really got into that late stage very nicely and really just stuck in that late stage from there on out. Alright, Spirit's playing Goblin as well, by the way. Creator playing Persal. Some cool matches already lining up. I kind of wanted to cast Spirit Goblin, but you guys want to stick with the PvZ, or would you guys rather us move into Spirit Goblin? Because we can swap after a game, like we don't have to finish a series. Let's see if Twitch chat has any opinions. I really feel like Geralt's a big favorite in this matchup. You like Goblin, like Turtles? Stick with this. Click on, then we'll finish this up. I'll jump in again too. I really feel like Geralt. My only concern is I feel like we're going to see the exact same game a second time. Geralt's going to be greedy, and Machine doesn't punish it. And if Machine doesn't punish it, then this game is just kind of decided at 10 minutes already. So, we'll see though. We'll see. Then when we come out of this, we'll probably go into the bottom side semi-final. As I imagine Spirit Goblin, Percival, and Creator will pretty close to being done, so we'll move down there after this anyway. In the bottom left-hand side, our red Zerg player is going to be Machine. Taking on the green Protoss. In the top left, we have Geralt. This is the final bit of Zerg we see today. That's sad. Scarlet was signed up to the qualifier but didn't check in. I was like, we could have some cool Zerg action there. Unlucky. Boosting Nexus. Simulator coming through. It's nice to see ourselves. The gateway down on the low ground. Hatchery coming out. Couple drones in the way. Get settled in for a few moments. Hatchery coming about. Just going to see the probe moving around. Probe is playing a nibbling game and gets set up early. Tell ourselves the Nexus and Cyber Core both coming through for a couple of moments. Probe gun patrol, and drone moves out onto the map. Ling's is going to go jumping straight onto that probe, and that probe taking some hits. And you get chased away. And Ling's be coming through. Warp Gate and the Stargate coming up as well, so we get all of that underway for the moment. No surprises just yet. Obviously the Lings, we'll see if they can do much, but mostly just coming out to defend against an Adept here. Nothing really too crazy just yet. As we get settled down. Stargate just building. I guess we're coming through. Queen on the way up. It's going to be seeing a few Lings there. Going to try and grab this Adept over here. It's just going to try and come through. Adept just pulls back over. Evolution Chamber coming about at that Hatchery. We see a few drones, Queen and the Ling speed coming up as well, so we just bring that all into play. Warp Gate coming by. There's a couple of Adepts are going to go and actually go to the Healing Shrine where they can get healed up. Get back to full HP. Wow, that's wild. Does the Adept health bar usually... Oh, I guess it's because... Yeah, no, never mind. I'm being dumb. Never mind. I mean, it's because the health regenerated, and obviously not used to seeing health regenerate on a Protoss unit. Never mind. Never mind me. Alright, Twilight Council coming through, the melee upgrade starting on the Evolution Chamber, so we get this set up for the early few moments, just get a few things underway. To start us off in this one, to see where we're going to be going to. The Forge and Twilight Council both coming into play as well, so just getting all of that online. Forge is about to finish, so we'll get that completed up. It's going to be a nice little addition here early. Let's get that Forge done and be able to get into that +1 upgrade. The few Zerglings coming over. We are actually building Phoenix as well. So 2 Oracles into a Phoenix. We'll see how much investment this really turns out to be. I'm just going to try and threaten that third base. It's not going to go anywhere. And Phoenix might just be to clean up an Overlord or 2. May not be that big of a deal at the end of the day, so... Keep our eyes on it though. There's a few Lings going to attack the Adept for a couple of moments. Some work being done there. So with that melee upgrade finishing machine, we'll get into a little bit more of an aggressive army very shortly. Things gotta wrap around. Adept's gonna get caught. A lot of Stalkers reducing through. Ling's actually surviving through and actually going to be able to get after a couple of probes again with that melee upgrade. They become a little bit scary here. A couple of the Stalkers going down too. It's a nice start from Machine. Although I actually felt like he had a better start last game, funnily enough. Last game he had more better resources lost trade. So just going to shoot. The Overlord will go down. Storm on the way, had that fleet beacon on, put another gateway down as well. Spire still building from Machine in the bottom here. These few Zerglings going to show up and get a little wraparound on the Zealot and a couple of Adepts. Damage being done, just going to be seeing the Stalkers taking a lot of shots as well here. These Lings just keep showing up, and right now Geralt is not really dealing with them very well at all. The Machine actually break through to something meaningful. Again, Geralt's on his way to that Storm, he's on his way to the Fleet Beacon. He's got a lot of future investment coming in. This is already some of that better pressure I was wanting to see something close to or similar to in that previous game, and I was talking about, you know, getting forward and, you know, doing something when Geralt is kind of meant to be at his weakest. This is definitely kind of a step in the right direction, although probably not going to be overall enough to really flip things or anything. Spire on the way, going to be our next step of this, so we'll head it straight in toward our Spire, get that on the go. Ling's showing up again, still just trying to utilize the melee upgrades on those guys to the best of their abilities. Really just putting them to good use. Now the Mutas are coming up as well. Have we made this game hectic enough that there's potential for the Mutalisks to show up and be super influential? I feel like there's some opportunity. Right, because the Lings have been a little bit kind of annoying early. Is Phoenix going to get rid of the Overlord? Phoenix might have just glimpsed the first sign of those Mutalisks, which would be a shame to reveal the Mutas a little bit earlier than you had to. I'm pretty sure we haven't actually seen the Spire as Geralt. I don't even know where the Spire is. There it is, yeah, he didn't see the Spire, so the Mutas kind of reveal themselves a little bit early, but we'll get through here. We'll go after a couple of the probes. Stalkers start to warp in, and behind this we're going straight to the Hydra Den, so Machine's looking to kind of keep the move going. Head straight into the Hydra Den as the next step of this, and just get into the next army that's going to attack via the ground, rather than necessarily doubling down into the skies or anything, you know? Phoenix will pop in a few moments from the Stargate, another one, Chrono boosting out. This is exactly what you want of your Machine. If you're ready to start building Hydras and teching up, and your opponent's going to start investing into Phoenix against just this amount of Mutalisks, then yeah, this is good. Now, at some point, I think Geralt should see this and say, okay, your Muta count's not getting any higher. I probably don't need to build many more Phoenix here, so maybe even soon he can kind of make that call, and the sooner he makes that call, I think the better, because as you can see, these Mutas are going down. These Phoenix are really not going to be that necessary. You can probably even cancel Phoenix range if he wants to. The only reason you might want to keep it is if you think there might be like a turnaround back into Mutas at some point, but he's going to cancel it because, like I say, the main goal of these Phoenix is to fight against Mutas. And the Mutas are pretty much all gone, down, and killed. Things come across, just gonna see that probe is gonna get jumped on. Everything else gathering together, Stalker Zealot, High Templar, Link coming through, Mothership and the Stargate continuing up as well. Just gonna have ourselves a Twilight Council, Chrono boosting up the charge, +2 coming over. Flying Hydra will get this set of rocks and take that down. A little bit of creep just pushing up the left, a little bit of creep pushing up the right. And Mothership +2 and charge, all on the way in for the moment. That's the Stargate finishing a couple of moments as well. Hydra Lurker. Also just going to gather here as we get our Seismic Spines on the way. A couple of Infestors coming through, the Lurkers all coming about. The Stalkers over there to push the Lings back the other direction, pushing those out over that left-hand side. Charge is going to be done shortly. The Mothership, also not far from being done. +2 attack, part of this upgrade system. As you see this big attack up the right-hand side. So this is the question of, did these Mutas cause enough trouble that Geralt's just not really quite prepared right now for this Hydra Lurker push? I honestly think there's a very good chance that they were. So let's see. First couple of storms being dodged nicely. Phoenix trying to lift up some lurkers. Nice storm onto the Hydras there, I was about to say. I hope we keep some energy for the Hydras because we need to make sure we can continue to deal with those. It's another nice set of storms. Geralt is low on supply, but he's actually going to push this back. And the Phoenix is getting a lift off as well. A little revelation, make sure no burrows happen. The storm, we blink forward again. Lurker's still being chased. The Hydra and the Infestor pulling back away. Lings trying to run by, but it's a good warp in to block the wall off and to make sure that these Lings will not get anywhere. So, Geralt taking this step by step and putting himself into some good positions and making sure that this doesn't get too far away from him. Plus 2 missiles, plus 3 melee, both on the way out currently as well to bring that straight on through. And lurkers gather about. Just going to see a few stalkers are going to come over here as well. Again, going to try and threaten around and see if they can get up to anything particularly troubling. Really feel like there's much else to be done for them though. As yeah, the 4th base will come through, so Geralt will try and get up to this again. Definitely having a rougher game. Machine putting him into a little bit more of a troubling position than we initially expected, I would say. Definitely able to come out and bring a bit of a fight here so far. So. Stalkers, Tempest, the High Templars gather. Fungal Growth lands down onto the Phoenix and onto a Tempest as well, so they gather up right there. Those Tempests gonna fire, Lurkers get pushed away. Corrupt is on the way through, plus 2 fly attack and plus 3 melee. Continue to build. The plus 1 air weapons coming up as well as the Lings get stormed. $15 additional Corruptors currently building right now, so when we get that on the way, bring that through. Just going to be seeing those upgrades all still continuing up. We do have our Billings up the right-hand side. Machine. And then once again, look for the run by Geralt. Is Geralt stabilized? I think he is. I think this is getting into a more and more controlled position that Geralt should be fairly content with as time passes. Like, these Lings are not going to do much else here, right? These run-bys are starting to be stopped. It does feel like Geralt, like I say, is getting a bit more comfortable with a better army, and obviously 4th base up as well. Let's see if we can hold on. Corruptor count is good against what is not really a lot of Tempest or anything just yet. Trying to kill the Overseers off so we can kind of continue through without any detection available for the Zerg. There's one Overseer remaining, but I mean, yeah, the Cloaking's disappeared now anyways. Machine is actually just going to bust on through and tie us up 1-1. That's going to be a tied up series. Why isn't the Mothership making his units invisible? The Mothership got changed, so invisibility on the Mothership is a spellcast now. It's an ability, not just a guarantee. So you can cast it, and it will make it visible for, make them invisible for a short amount of time. But yeah, it's not a permanent thing like it used to be. And one of those cheeky little patches they put in at one point. Alright, Machine not letting Geralt get up to that 4th base, not letting him get comfortable. And we are going to go 1-1 in this series, so hey, that's a bit of fun. Like that. As we get ourselves ready for a game 3 then. Hey, I'm very glad we stuck with this, guys, because originally I was talking about skipping to the other section of the bracket or something after game 1. I said I was afraid this was going to be more of the same, and it really wasn't. Machine taking a map is definitely not something I had on my list of things to happen today. So there we go, a little bit of an upset in the bottom left side. Being brought to a game 3 will be our green Protoss player Geralt, taking on the red Zerg in the upper right side of the map. We have got ourselves Machine. GG Machine, but I'm not going to say the GG every single time because that's a little bit excessive, doesn't it? Just a little bit. Just a tad. Extractor Trick going to be the initial call. Machine being born in 2009 is crazy to you. Yeah, one of these young players that has always had a bit of potential, but is just, you know, still young, still learning, still improving. Sort of player that you get excited for when StarCraft 2 gets to keep on going, because it's definitely the kind of player who could, you never know what his true potential is, right? Like, he's probably got 2 to 3 years at least of continue to improve rapidly, you know? Maybe even more than that, you know, there's not necessarily a particular limit on it, but yeah. I'm glad to see. Like I say, has been kind of on that up and up and taking the map off Geralt. It does surprise me. Like, I've heard of Machine, I've seen him in a few tournaments. Like I say, to me, him taking the map off Geralt is a surprise. Just to kind of give you guys a rough guesstimate of where he's at, like, I wouldn't say that this is a scenario where, like, I would have predicted a Geralt 2-0 as the TLDR. So, like I say, I'm happily surprised, obviously. Happy to see some more games, potentially. Always fun. Following this Overlord as it comes across to pick up some early information. Just going to get over here, sit overhead, keep an eye on things for a few moments. See, waiting for some of our units to pop out on the side of Geralt so he can kind of come over and get some info rolling. It has been the no scout from Geralt, so until this adept pops out, he's really not been seeing much of anything going on. So yeah, kind of reliant on this adept to start giving him some info in these early stages. Like I say, didn't even go with the probe, so just skips over the chance to gather info there. A little bit greedier from him. Just saying, I don't think you're going to do anything that will immediately punish that. He obviously has scouted early with the probe in the previous games, so he's not kind of setting up tendencies that could be punished either, so it's usually a very useful way of doing it. You know, the way you play in those previous games lets you do things in the next games. You know, that does shift up a little bit. That does have an impact. Wonder if tournaments for players under 18 have been done. I think there was the Rising Star tournaments. If you Wikipedia those, you'll probably see some of them. I believe they were age capped. Yeah. I think it was OSC Rising Star. Alpha X also used to do way back when the Alpha X, I can't remember what the Alpha X one was called, but similar vibe. I don't even know if it was the same tournament than Alpha X used to exist, so OSC just kept it going or what, but yeah. Rising Stars for players who didn't make playoffs and DreamHack at yourself. Oh. I really felt like there was a young one. Maybe I'm just getting mixed up, and the Alpha X one was for young players, right? Pretty sure. Sling's gonna get a wrap around here. A few drones going down the other side, but they're gonna cancel the third Nexus, so a bit of a slowdown coming through. Thank you, Ruffalopolis, coming in for the 22-month resub. We got some Wardy Allies over in the YouTube chat as well. Fun to see them over there. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Twilight Council, Forge, and Nexus all coming through. A couple probes in the Oracle coming up. Drones in the Evo Chamber coming about. Overlord in production. Twilight Council and Forge on the way. And the Nexus coming through as well, so we get all of that already. A few Zerglings here from Machine, just going to step upwards. A couple of Oracles coming through. Well, Revelation goes down just to keep a track of things. The Oracles get turned away, and that's good. You know, the less damage you're going to take here continuing onwards is Machine. The more chance you can keep your lead and keep your advantage. Melee upgrade, add some Lings in. Another Overlord and a few drones. All of that giving us a good indicator of where this game is heading right now. Uncles will just zap through for a couple of Zerglings, so still getting some value there. These Adepts are going to threaten. There's not much to deal with them in position immediately. Drones pull away. Machine just going to try an Evo Chamber block to buy some time, but the Adepts can still shade through. They're going to go toward the main base, where now some Lings will chase, but the Queens aren't in position on the main. Actually, you are going to see the Adepts stay on the natural, however, which works because the Queens kind of ramp toward the main as well. Might not be much damage kind of on the screen, but it is going to be damage kind of behind the curtains in terms of, you know, there's a lot of drones that have been pulled away there, mining time being lost. And now we are actually getting some drone kills on the screen as well, so you can see that this really has been pretty effective from Geralt. 6 drones. Cancels up the 4th base. That might have even been a kill. No, it was a cancel, so it's just like maybe he was distracted, but he was not. Machine able to get the cancel off there. Yeah, 6 drones is not bad at all. I guess one of those 6 drones is probably the drone that cancelled out of the 4th hatchery. Want to double expand now. And let's go back into the center. Again, Hatch on the top, Hatch on the right. Storm, Blink, and +1 all coming through. A couple of high tempers coming about. The gateway's getting brought into play. Archon morphing in as well, if the Oracle's still gathering together. The upgrade on the Overlord speed coming through. Storm +2 on the way. The Oracle's up on the top. Just going to drop a little Revelation down. Keep an eye on things, and obviously clear up some creep as well. Here come the Stalkers beginning to poke about. Nothing on the other side, so Geralt able to start getting his 4th base up during this. The Ling's looking for the wraparound. The Archon will help a lot here, especially these Oracles too. They're going to help keep the Archon alive, but the Stalkers have to blink, then the Archon gets fully surrounded. And these Stalkers have already blinked as well, so this is going to be trouble. As these Stalkers can blink high ground. But yeah, the Lings and their melee upgrade showing up and showing a defense right away. It's kind of huge losing an Archon early. That could have just been 2 High Templar gathering energy for the future. Instead, it's an Archon that's now gone. And it killed a few Lings, don't get me wrong. That's not the prettiest of all trades, you know, on the side of Machine, right? Like, let's face it, you know, he still lost quite a few Lings, but like I say, an Archon's not a bad thing to get rid of. Traded okay, but they just shouldn't have really been out there trading at all in the first place, right? Let's turn back up into the top side. A couple of drop lords. Gonna load up as well. So Zerglin's gonna figure out where they would like to go. Similar as Final 1 +2 attack coming through. These Lings trying to get up this ramp. Lings getting caught in the stasis straight away. Stalkers will continue to shoot a few of those Lings going down. High Templars and the Stalkers together will clean this up. So I do feel like we're getting to this point of again comfort for Geralt. You can see, oh yeah, shutting down the drop lord nice and quickly as well as big. Just making sure that, you know, these kind of funky plays which have gotten the better of you in other games don't get the better of you here. Help you to really stabilize until the next minutes of this game still. +2 melee, +1 carapace, add on the Hydra speed as well. All that coming through, a couple of lurkers coming about, Hive on the natural. I'm just going to see our Stalkers and the Oracle still pressing upward right now. We are going to see some of those creep teamers already going down. I'm just going to step across, a couple of Stalkers blinking away, a couple of creep teamers still dropping. Stalkers still pressing upwards, and there's going to be another Revelation coming down onto those Hydras. Nice storm as the Zald Stalker High Templar still very much so pressing through the front. Team doesn't to me seem like he's got the numbers to really kind of stay alive here. The problem is Ling Hydra is just going to be so weak to the storms. So if you can get a couple storms off, that Ling Hydra starts melting, and the Zald Stalker does a lot to really kind of, you know, help you out there as well. So that is pretty notable. This does feel like Geralt's definitely getting the better of this game number 3. At least thus far. Now, as you save this base over here, so Machine doing what he can. He has got the Lurkers on the way, and the Lurkers will create a bit of a timer in this game for Geralt. Well, okay, I say a bit of a timer, not really, because Geralt actually already has Tempest on the way. Maybe a bit of a timer for this specific army being able to be out on the map and trying to pressure through for some damage. The reality is, though, he doesn't need this army to do too much more, because he does have the transition coming up. He does have the Tempest coming through, adding that charge on as well, one of the things that he was missing prior. On the bottom side going to run straight through, and those cannons will take quite a bit of damage, but actually the battery's going to keep them alive in the end. The Lings run out of steam, and the batteries keep the cannons alive. A bit of a frisky blink as we blink right to the edge of those Lurkers with those Stalkers. They kind of second guess that blink as well. You could see the moment of panic where he's like, oh, do I actually want to be here? He's like, actually no, I can go after a Lurker there. So a little bit of a surprising one as a Stalker. This is Zald Oracle moving through, a couple of Revelations to keep the creep tumors going down, so we keep knocking those away. Geralt's still threatening to potentially just kind of punch forward at any moment. The Ling Lurker gathering up together. A couple of lurkers coming down the ramp, and we are going to move into the center here. Stalker, High Templar, Oracle. In response to this, already getting settled. I do see a couple of lurkers getting caught immediately. A little bit of a lift on one of those lurkers as well. Take that out of the equation. It's funny because Phoenix, there's only one, but Phoenix is very good against lurkers. Originally, when lurkers first came into Legacy of the Void, the answer to lurkers was Phoenix, right? Because you'd have the Phoenix to lift up all the lurkers, and the Zerg would struggle to get them all reburrowed during the fight, and by the time you got them reburrowed, the fight was already over. Like, he just took a lot of the buffer out of that lurker force. And you still see it sometimes, but it really was the go-to answer way back when. There's even more lurkers about to finish here, and this army of Geralt going to take position on the right side. This hatchery will be going down. He's just going to run in. He's going to be firing away at these couple of queens. Still the rest of these Tempests continue to do that thing over here. A couple of those lurkers still getting shot at and being knocked away. Couple goes down. The lurkers. Actually, one of them going to survive in the corner. This machine still trying to find just little ways to kind of be annoying. Find ways to kind of have his say on the other side of the map. He's not letting Geralt just freely kind of be in this game. He is making sure Geralt's having to play defense a bit as well. Now a lingering by. Let's see what this can do. Really much available defensively. A lot of cannons on this base, but yeah, the spinner line here has only really got a couple of batteries on it. The Tempest shows up. Suddenly 16 probes go down. Main base under attack as well. Machine on a very good just attack through. Having a very good time here as the Tempest recall in. And that will be a cleanup, but man, there's 20 probes going down. Don't think Geralt was expecting to lose quite so much right there. We're still not done. These couple of final lings still going huge. +3 melee, adrenal glands. All the upgrades to just make them absolutely deadly as possible is massive. +2 missiles on the Evo chamber. The extra Hydra still coming up. +2 air weapons coming up on the Cyber Core. Battery and cannons all coming through. Battery gets into the top left-hand side. We will see a few drones. Getting caught already in a stasis ward. The Hydras come back across as well. Still got the +2 air weapons. Still got the shields coming by for the moment. So Stalker Archon, Tempest as well, gonna get there. That hatchery will go down. Blink across, a couple of Hydras coming through. We're still fighting, a couple of Stalkers taken down, the Archons going about as well. A little time warp coming in too right now as we still see this army settling on the left hand side. After taking a few more shots, the Lurker's going to run forward again. He's going to start burrowing up. Storm's coming down. Hydra's taking some shots already. Lurker's still coming through. Cancel. Now we're going to drop another pylon down with that Proby. The Tempest, the Archons, the Zealots going to be there. Hatchery taking some shots. Hatchery's going to low. Hatchery just cancel it. Doesn't want to keep it at low HP. You know, the big issue is the triple knight just comes in. They're all going to go down, aren't they? Kind of expensive too. The issue really right now is just the fact that we just don't have the bases, right? Like, we don't have the setup to really keep in this game much longer. 15 minutes, being on a full base scenario is not ideal. Hook is caught in a stasis as well. We're going to try and mass expand because Machine needs one of these bases to get up and actually kind of stick in the game. If he can't get any of these bases up, he might genuinely end up in quite some trouble. As the Hydras dive forward to get rid of a couple Oracles. Drop down the time warp as well here, slow the retreat of these Lurkers. Revelation comes straight down onto them. We're actually going to not really fight our way through them at all. Geralt takes a pretty ugly fight. The Hydra's going to come diving forward. No splash damage remaining. Mothership falls. The Tempests are in trouble as Machine dives through all of this, and Geralt gets absolutely battered away right now. My goodness. Well, Tempest's going to continue to sit here. A couple of Hydras still moving about. Hydra Lurker around that left-hand side. You can see the Lurker's just getting burrowed up, and Machine obviously sniffing blood in the water a little bit. It's going to start moving through. He's going to have to pull back to deal with these Zealots, unfortunately. Resources lost is about 4k in favor of Geralt, which isn't pretty for Machine, considering he's also mining much less in the game on less bases. Has a couple more bases coming online now. Actually lost a lot of this here in the end. Needs to go on a bit of a rebuild. Geralt is building more and more Tempests. Has a few High Templars already up. I guess everything else can kind of warp in afterward anyway, so maybe this ain't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I just saw more Tempests. I was like, really? Do we need more right now? But yeah, it's going to be alright. These Zealots actually going to jump onto this hatchery on that right side. So now the Tempest here going to be able to find a hatchery in the center as well. So hatchery goes down. Up on the top, these Zealots are going to start charging through. At least think about it. A couple of Lurkers get burrowed up as well. They'll turn those Zealots away. A couple of Hydras going to come stepping over. Zealot goes down. Plus 3 attack coming through. Nexus, Mothership, all coming about right now. Continue to get this all on the way. Oracle going to go down as well to the Hydras. I'm just trying to return fire. Good storms. Oh my goodness, amazing. Oh my god. If storms could solo an army, that was almost dead. Like, the storms were absolutely disgusting. Right across all those Hydras. And they kind of just stood in it as well. And even when they kind of darted, they were still in it. Not ideal at all. There were some insane storms. I do think this is where, again, Geralt is probably going to start feeling the most comfortable, and the later that this game goes, the more problematic that it is for Machine, because Geralt just looks so good at this sort of stage of the game. Mothership and Tempest gathering together. Move our way down through the bottom right side. Lurkers are going to put some damage out. Zealots and Archons come charging through. The Lurkers will be chased. Again, the Slayer coming up in the line. Patrick coming about, plus 3 Carapace coming over. Plus 1 armor coming up on that Cyber Core. Another nice couple of Storms hitting a bunch of the Lings. Storm forcing a few more of those units out. The army thinking of coming back in again. Abduct, and 2 of those Tempests go down immediately. And burrow the few Zealots, get into the natural field. I'm going to end up in the main base as well. It's just going to get straight through over there. Just going to keep on fighting. Geralt is seemingly not too afraid of this army. So it's going to loop around the other side. Maybe they should have stopped off elsewhere on their way. On the side, they didn't really get to do all that much. And Geralt just going to sit there and again threaten to be on that right side, knock down some of the structures here on the natural. Lurkerton, for example, is going to be an easy target from there. If you can stick around, but we get pushed back a little bit. So many Hydras just being produced right now. That's why the Storms are going to be so important, because Tempests alone do get outmastered a little bit by those Hydras, but yeah. Machine just says he can't win this fight. He doesn't have much of a bank left. He's losing drones. GG's. He put up a hell of a fight, but it will be Geralt to move on through to play against Jumi in the next round of today. Some results in the bracket. Shameless 2-1 Rebellion will now play Byun. They played a long series yesterday, so that will be taking place. So will Jumi versus Geralt in the round of 8. But what's really interesting is Persal beat Creator. So Persal qualifies for the WardiTV May tournament. Fascinating stuff. Spirit and Goblin currently in-game with each other as well, so they are also currently just in-game. I kind of want to I think we're going to just wait for Spirit Goblin to finish, and then we'll just grab the semi-final, the winner of that versus Percival. They've been in-game like 10 minutes, so it shouldn't be like a super long wait or anything. So yeah, I think that's going to be our plan here for a couple of moments, guys. So we'll be right back with more StarCraft here. 32 breaks. I'm just going to step away for a second, and I'll see you guys in a few moments for more StarCraft in the WardiTV May Qualifier. Hello everybody, welcome back. We're going to be going Spirit versus Percival. As Spirit beat Goblin 2-1, Percival beat Creator 2-1. And they'll give us a TVT? Yes, a TVT. Our first semi-final match of the day. So, get into this in a moment or two. And we'll be going from there. Starting up on Ultra Love, it seems, for some Terran versus Terran. I can't believe you're so excited about TVT. Yeah, we just don't see it very much anymore, right? So, actually getting to see one live and in person is kind of a little bit of a miracle. So, yeah, pretty cool. Alright, let's jump into Ultra Love. Let's get this underway for some Terran versus Terran action, like I say, between Percival and Spirit. Let's get this started. Let's get this underway. Alright, we have ourselves in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. The red Terran player here is Spirit in our semi-finals today, so he just bypassed the round of 8 by casting a very long round of 12, or round of 16, but there was actually only 12 players signed up today. So Spirit in the bottom left and Percival in the upper right hand side. Let's see what this TVT is going to give us as we get on through game number 1 of best of 3. Again, hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone's feeling good. If you're out there in the chat and enjoying the games, just a quick mention, you can obviously like and subscribe if you're on the YouTube channel. And if you're watching on Twitch, you can hit that follow button as well. Check out if you've got a Prime sub available, etc. All of it allows us to keep on casting and producing StarCraft 2 content. If you're really enjoying and you want to support even further, obviously we've got the Indiegogo page right now, !2025, and find out how you can help to raise the prize pool of WardiTV events this year to allow us to run bigger and better tournaments and put on more shows for you guys. And better shows at that as well. So, !2025, we've got just under a month left on the crowdfunding campaign. Trying to keep pushing that one along, so if you have a chance, go check it out. I really appreciate it. Why is Creator fallen so far off the ladder? I don't know if that's true. I actually think Geralt. I think Percival is actually better than you probably think. Percival was actually very close to qualifying for GSL against some very good competition. So I actually think Percival is actually just very good right now in certain types of games. Like, it's not always like spot on like pristine play, but like when he's good, he can be very good and very dangerous. So yeah, I think Percival is actually just very good right now, to be honest, more than anything else. So yeah, like maybe not 100% what you expect from Creator, but like I think some credit to be given to his opponent more so than just Creator dropping down, you know. And Creator's still been playing well. Creator's had some decent results here and there as well, so everyone's just kind of leveling themselves up with some bigger tournaments taking place once again, so a lot of that happening. Two Reapers showing up as Spirit proxied one barracks, so oh no. I was gonna say, this is really bad for you as Percival, because you've gone Reaper into Reactor. With a fast expansion like this, cannot really go much worse. If you lose your Reaper, that would be the one thing that would be pretty game deciding, actually. I mean, that's the sort of moment where you might actually just lose the game from there on out. Right here, obviously Spirit would love to deny this command center from building, and he's going to have to start fighting some units if he wants to actually get that. Third Reaper shows up for him. He takes some shots on the way up. He will lose a Reaper here. But the Hellion is low. He'll get the SCV, building the CC again, and can keep the pressure on that command center. He is certainly going to try. As the 3 Reapers will spread. Here come 2 Reapers and a Hellion now down the ramp. Maybe the next attempt to shut this down, get a little bit of micro backwards, but I think we're running out of units here as Spirit. And he is going to get cleaned up, so he loses those units, and that means future Reapers are not going to be anywhere near as scary as well. Hellions and the Reaper just end up escaping away down to the bottom side. Would he cough one time if you read YouTube chat? Oh, was that one? Oh, that could have been multiple, you know, like There was kind of like a stutter cough, you know? God, instructions unclear. We get pretty aggressive here, but it's just going to turn into a little bit of a disaster because, well, your opponent just had units on the way out, and so being the aggressor always kind of at some point becomes kind of a bad idea typically in TVT unless the game is truly getting to the point of ending, so yep. Spirit gets a return cleanup. Still has his barracks out on the map producing Reapers, by the way. That's a lot of gas he's continuing to build into Reapers. A lot of gas that then isn't going into factory and starport units, which is typically what you expect at this point of a TVT. Start building those numbers up. So that's definitely an interesting little something to kind of keep our eyes on. As the few Reapers and the Hellions regather. It's going to pull back away over there, and actually have the siege tank going to unload. Reapers and the Hellions going to jump straight on top of this siege tank, and that tank is like, nope, don't love that. Yeah, I think that's Persal kind of being like, wait, why do you have so many kind of fast-moving harasser units and not more kind of, you know, basic defensive kind of, you know, again, factory and starport units? Obviously, it kind of makes some sense because it's the second barracks from Spirit, but like I say, he didn't need to keep on building the Reapers for this long. So that's already one way in which this could have looked very different to what it currently looks like. Reapers and the Hellions gather up. Just gonna get the catch on this medevac. It has a boost to get away. Well, Hellions and the Reapers underneath, making sure nothing drops out of there. I'm just going to keep track of that, and this medevac actually can get all the way pushed back to the natural, so no real progress on the map at all right now for Percival. Defense Matrix starts up for Spirit as we begin the Raven versus Raven process of this game. We hop up over here trying to make something happen, but there's a tank there, which obviously makes it not so pretty of an idea. And this is going to be kind of a shutdown. Everyone keeps attacking into the opponent and losing their stuff. That's really a pretty good summary of this game so far. Attack in, followed by losing your stuff. Yes, if he's going down, sorry, is the Banshee of Spirit here. She tries for a little bit of damage. He's going to send the dead airspace afterward. He's going to chill there. As Percival gets a larger army coming across the map. Cyclone actually does get the lock on to clean that Banshee up. And the Marines and the tanks coming over now. Prepping themselves for this attack. So Percival actually has a 40 to 23 army supply lead. So pretty sizable army advantage here from Percival, who starts to set up on this other side. It's time to gather. Marines and the Ravens joining up together. Shots coming off nicely so far. Depot going to be taking some big hits. Just going to see those two Ravens still patrolling around the sky. Next going down. Just going to be seeing the next Matrix coming down too. So right now, gain for Spirit. He just can't really control his ult. He's about to have Stim, but he needs Stim like right now because, yeah, he needs to start coming into this and denying this before these tanks get set up, really. But the tanks are going to get sieged, and that's going to make it very difficult. Another Matrix. Here we go. Auto turret's going to come through. Going to land the Vikings. Tanks will focus on Marines for the most part. Spirit is going to break out, but it costs him 19 SCVs. Actually sieging a tank in the background there. We actually still have this tank as well, which has been huge. They just keep on aiding during this. So Percival doesn't even get fully pushed back, killing all those SCVs. We've seen the Ravens and the Vikings still chilling overhead. 24 dead SCVs so far. Yeah, combat shield coming up. Marines and the tank and medevac coming through. The Vikings and the Ravens gathering for the moment. Persal just keeping up the pressure. Tanks will siege. Again, Vikings, the Ravens gathering up. The siege tank joining in. There's a scan coming through. Yeah, that 1-1 upgrade kind of combo coming up and online. Combat shield accompanying it. Can Spirit keep on surviving? He's down 25 workers, so it's not really looking pretty at all. He's sieged on the natural. This should be all about Percival from here on out. Vikings, Ravens, and tanks join up. The orbital will be taking a little bit of a beating. Pulling upgrades, combat shield comes through, a couple of missile turrets on the way. That orbital still taking some damage. On the other side, a few Marines intercept a siege tank reinforcing, but that's about all we're going to get right now. Marines will be there, and intercept again. A couple more reinforcements. The Liberator is taking some damage, but I mean, to be fair, right now, Spirit actually on a little bit of an army supply lead. It's just Persal has so many more workers, so moments like this, I mean, he's just killed 11 workers, and he's still behind by 20, so some necessary damage. But we actually straight up lost the command center here. That's not great. We're going to try and break on through. Like I said, this tank has been an absolute hero. 24 kills. It's going to get dropped on top of now and cleaned up. But yeah, 24 kills siege tank is no messing around, especially when it's been in such a aggressive position. Spirit's still trying to break on through, but Percival seemingly does have the numbers still. The Marines and the medevac gather up. The Liberator gets... Do you see that Liberator did like a backflip as it died? A little bit wild. Just the way it got blown up, I guess, just looked a little bit funky. It just looked like it did like a proper, like, out of nowhere move. Medevac pushing away. Marine tank going to be there. Medevac will drop off a couple of Marines. Bring them around that bottom right corner. Marine tank medevac still coming about. Again, the armory coming through from Percival. The CC coming into play. That Spirit's building an armory is one of the craziest things to me. Like, this absolutely does not feel like a game where he should ever have that sort of an opportunity, right? But yeah, he's building an armory. Maybe thinking about some upgrades. He's down 23 workers. He's down almost double the army supply. It is not pretty at all. And Percival completely controls this opening game of Terran versus Terran. And these Marines are going to continue over. There's Stim. There's a few Marines there from Spirit. Just going to fight this as Percival, but Spirit has a little bit more, so it's going to work out. Fine defense for the moment as we now have ourselves the rest of this army. I mean, I don't think we really need to be doing anything too fancy, honestly, on the side of Percival. I think he just needs, I think he can just go, basically, if he would like to. Marine tank pulling around the left. Scan comes down. 2-2 already halfway done on the side of Percival. 2-2 just starting from Spirit. This run by, gonna find a siege tank. There's a few units nearby. This shouldn't be too much of a problem. Ooh, maybe lose a sensor tower as well. Lose a few SCVs. We are trying to push in on the left-hand side. Percival with the most painstakingly slow push considering his advantage. He's definitely not feeling 100% confident about things at the moment as the medevacs load up the Marines. Actually going to jump in the main. I like that. It looks as though Spirit was already kind of expecting him, moving Marines a tank or two over there preemptively. So he was definitely kind of expecting that one. Credit to Spirit because, like I say, if you're not in position for this, or the less in position you are, the more painful it becomes. This tank's still just flying away from afar. Few SCVs going down this mineral line. They keep on going over to that left-hand side. The tanks keep getting kills. First of all, now on a 60 supply lead in this game. Gonna try and load into the main base again. Gonna lose a full medevac. Winning this from this advantage again, seeming to be a little bit of a challenge at the moment here for Percival. Definitely not having the prettiest of times. But still in the lead, very much so in the lead. And currently looking to try and close out. A couple of those tanks got sieged up. Liberator firing some shots off. Medevac takes some damage. You got the 2-2 upgrades coming through as well. 33 building up on the engineering base 2. Marine Viking tank all the way up. We have the command center on as well. Yeah, Vikings, Marines, everything in general, just going to start pushing through the center, trying to get set up and out onto the map a little bit. On the left side, there's a couple of tanks still join up together as well. Upgrades continue through for the moment. More Marines coming out. 3-3 upgrades still coming through on the engineering base. Vikings will be there. Liberator going to take some shots. It's going to get that grab. Still got the Marine tank medevac coming through as well. Starport's coming online. Just going to see a couple of medevacs here from Spirit gathering up at the moment in the center. On the bottom side, a group of Marines and the tanks gathering. It's going to go moving through. Yeah, Marine still building. Tank and the medevac coming through. A couple of refineries and the SCVs coming about. 3-3 upgrades building on the engineering base still. This Army of Spirit getting set up in the center. The left side, medevac goes down. These Marines going to be fighting. Tank's going to begin to siege. Marines stepping up. Just going to start moving through. A lot of those Marines getting absolutely blasted at the moment. And now at 100 supply difference, and we've got two different armies that can probably win this game separately, although Persal is still not quite making it happen cleanly. GG gets called. Persal is going to get the game win. But man, it was a little bit more of a challenge than expected, right? That went on a little bit. We're going to get to game 2 here. Spirit Persal's second map coming up in a moment, guys. And we'll get that straight on the way. Just run some ads because we've had some long games today, so gonna have to run the ads to try and keep them out the way of just playing in game. Do our best in that regard. Alright, game 2 coming up. We'll join the lobby. Alright, let's hop into Tokamak as we just get this ready to roll. And we'll see if Spirit can bounce back. The early proxy barracks for second 2 Rex Reaper play. It just didn't go great. I mean, there was a lot of just back and forth there. It was really the deciding factor was when Spirit pushed. Oh, sorry, when Persal pushed and Spirit just did not have the same army supply to kind of stand up. Actually, I think that was just because as well he kind of went back into all that Reaper production. Like, he just kept building Reapers for so long. If he went into Marines a bit sooner, maybe it makes a difference. He was so close to having Stim as well. Maybe if he stops building Reapers sooner and gets a slightly faster Stim, having Stim for that fight when Percival's pushing in, maybe that makes that go very differently as well. So, I think a few different ways in which Spirit could have adjusted based on how things were going, and, like I say, just a couple of abnormalities to the usual builds. This time it's going to be all the aggression coming in from our blue Terran player. Percival placing 2 barracks down to the bottom of the map. So both those barracks get placed straight down. And finally coming up. And we have ourselves Spirit. Oh, in base 2 racks. Wow. So Spirit's going to go for the straight up build order advantage here. Because obviously proxy 2 racks should not do much against someone who's got 2 Rex Reaper of his own, but then in the base, so be notable. Let's just have ourselves, again, those couple barracks coming through, the SCVs come about. There's another Reaper on the way on both sides, Orbital's coming up. Get that up and running. Both of these barracks finish. Yeah. The only thing that can go really kind of wrong for you right now is Spirit, is if you just don't know what's going on. And if you just don't know what's going on, maybe your first Reaper gets caught, and maybe then something can come of it, right? Because you don't have a scout, so you don't really know what's happening. And he's going to go start checking, though, and if he sees this, then he should be able to pull back to safety, and then, yeah, he's just going to be safe. It's going to be a pretty simple kind of conclusion there, I think, because, like I said, it's going to be very difficult for Percival to do much right now. Percival doesn't know it's a second Raxin base just yet either, so when he jumps in here, he'll see the second Reaper. That's when he now knows. These two Reapers, and yeah, immediately this is just unlikely to be good enough for him. So he's going to have to turn around, back away a little bit, another Reaper popping out. And he's going to have to try and play out of this position where, again, he's going to be missing barracks production at some point because he's going to have to fly these home. Typically, you don't even fly both of them home. You usually fly one home and keep one on the map scouting a little bit. So yeah, it's just awkward compared to Spirit, who is, you know, on his way to his factory and can drop a tech lab on one of these barracks, start moving into stim, start moving into a very comfortable bio army. And it's really nice because now you're going to be able to get into a bio army where your opponent can't necessarily punish you by going tech heavy because Percival's tech is not there because he doesn't have a fast factory. He's gone for the Reapers initially himself. So it's not like you're going to be hit by like a tank timing and it's like, oh, I barely have any Marines just yet. That's one of the weaknesses of going kind of playing the faster bio openings in TVT. That doesn't really exist, so Spirit is just going to be in an astounding position. And should be feeling pretty good about that as the depot drops down. Factory builds a tech lab. The Reapers still gather up. Just going to have our Reapers joining back into the center. 6 of those Reapers joined together right now. CC on the way. We head on that starport. Again, siege tank, Reapers and the Hellion all continue to come through for the moment. Siege tank and a couple of Marines, again, just hanging around. Those Reapers going to gather up. Medevac, Hellion, Reaper, all on the way. And starport build and tech lab on the way as well. I think Percival's doing it right. He's playing kind of cautiously and just passively here, letting this kind of just continue. You know, he's not pressing the issue. He's keeping his Reapers alive. Get one of those barracks back home. He has the starport, so you can maybe play a little bit of a Reaper Hellion, kind of jump in. Maybe there's some opportunity for him there. Let's try and get some damage done. But the tank is sieged up, and it looks very good defensively. Those are the Hellions. There is going to be the wall off, so if you jump up here, you're going to go through tank range. We only take one tank shot, which could have honestly been a whole lot worse, let's be realistic. So could have been a lot worse than it is. I mean, even still, it's not exactly great. I don't think this is exactly what you want from Percival. You kind of want so much more, but yeah, you're not really going to reach a mineral line. You're going to see that stim pack building from your opponent. You're going to realize some of the disadvantages you're in. And now you've invested into this medevac and these Hellions, and they didn't really do much. And so Spirit's now going to take a tech advantage as well with that siege tank already being out and continuing to produce on through. Definitely looking very good here for Spirit in this game 2 of the best of 3. Unload pulling back around the left side. And just Factus flies up to the top. Again, the stim coming through. Got that interference matrix on the way in as well. And Reapers and the Cyclone just patrolling over on that left-hand side. We do have ourselves the army here from Percival, just hanging out in the center. Stepping forward a little bit. Raven in that combat shield coming online as well. Still got those few Marines up. The engineering base coming through. So I've just seen the Reaper and the 2 Hellions get chased away over through into the center. What's the blue upgrade before combat shield? You mean this one? This is interference matrix, so it's the Raven ability. Got changed into an upgrade just to balance it a little bit because it was just very good. Now it's one of those things you actually have to invest into, so you don't just always have it as an option. So yeah, it's the one that got changed a little while ago as well, right? Just I don't think how long back it was it got changed, maybe like a year or so. year and a half. Honestly, my StarCraft 2 like timeline of patches in my head is just completely gone, so I'm probably not even close on that, but yeah, it happened a while back. When was the last time in TVT someone made a Marauder rush? It's pretty common. Proxy Rack's Marauder is not a bad build order. It's very aggressive, it's very committed, but it can pack a punch. I would not say it's a super uncommon situation. You'd probably see it more if TVT was more common. I feel like right now anything is like, when did this last happen in TVT? It's like more like, well, when did TVT actually last happen? More so than anything else. We do not let it get a lot of TVTs these days. Triple drop into the main. I like that we're kind of happy to do things a little bit more aggressively here as Persal. He's clearly behind and kind of need of doing something, right? And this first defense wave of Spirit I do not love, right? I mean, he comes in with a couple of auto turrets and so on that got cleaned up very quickly, but yeah, he got the matrices off in the end, I guess, and that's going to be what really counts as he does shut those tanks down, allowing him to come through, play the cleanup. Percival is building his third CC on location right now, while Spirit is already mining fully on this position. So again, you could not really, you could not really put these two further apart. Outside, like, supplies are still kind of even, but like I say, this really is just a matter of time. Spirit is going to start steamrolling, especially with that third CC timing advantage. The gas income is going to come, you know, be increased very soon. He's going to be able to afford upgrades. Like, he's going to be able to afford a lot of things that just pushes him further into the lead right now than where Percival's going to be in comparison. Sorry, a little drop over here from Percival, going to get cleaned up immediately. Spirit just jumps on that straight away. Again, this game is very much so just repercussions from the early game. This early build order of Percival was just not effective enough. It was honestly hard countered by the build order of his opponent, and this entire game has just basically been a continuation from that. The Cyclone actually does go down, which means the Medevac gets away, so nice from Percival to manage that, but that's a very minor win in a game that he's very much so losing otherwise. So Medevac peels away, everything else still gathering. Marine Tank will join back together as well. We got the 2-2 upgrades coming through too. One vehicle weapons coming through on the armory. Just going to be seeing another refinery coming down. Command center still building, so CC on both sides. So 2-2 upgrades coming up as well. Credit to Percival, he clearly knows he has to try and do something. He's constantly on the map, constantly trying to poke away to find some opportunity. Medevac's load up and just going to go for a boost through in toward the main as the Vikings will try and intercept, but Medevac's going to get both the tanks unloaded before it goes down, and I don't think Percival's going to have a good defense to this. We actually lose one tank. The tanks are in a great position because they cover the main, but they also cover that low ground third base, right? So it's an annoying position to try and fight. As the Liberators show up, though, the Libers might be able to get something done out of all of this, so okay. Okay, Percival's going to hold on, but he actually lost. He lost the third base. I was watching this main army kind of disappearing a little bit, but yeah, the only real good thing for him was the Liberators. And obviously, once they're out of reach, then they're out of reach, right? So, jeez. Already any value hosting an off-race tournament to spice things up? I'm not really into it. I was thinking of maybe hosting, like, at some point an alternate race tournament. So, like, basically, you have to play the main race of your opponent. And if it's a mirror matchup, then you have to play, like, you have to pick one of the other two. But I don't really have much interest in hosting off-race stuff. I want to continue focused on just high-level quality competitive 1v1. What we do best, so that's what we'll continue to go for. We're going to game number 3 of Percival and Spirit here. Jumi and Geralt still playing as well. I think there's a French stream up, so I might be able to grab their score from there. Jumi is up 1-0 against Geralt right now, so Jumi leading 1-0. Okay, it looks like it might go to 1-1 though. Geralt looks to be in the lead of that game number 2, so yeah, that Protoss versus Protoss happening. The winner of that will play against Byun, and then the winner of that series plays against the winner of this series in the finals. Again, top 4 are qualified, remember, so top 4 qualify, and then the top 2 get some prize money. So there's a reason why we're playing the top 4 out. It's a little bit of prize money difference. First and second place get $75 and $25 respectively, just to make it a nice little extra couple of matches in this qualifier. Otherwise, we'd be pretty much wrapping up already. In the top right hand side, we're going to have ourselves the red Terran player. This is Spirit. Taking on the blue Terran. In the bottom left, we have got Percival. Game 3 as we get this up and running. Surely no 2 racks this time around. Surely everyone just goes back into their more normal builds. So we find out soon as we just have the barracks coming on either side, refinery coming up. Definitely a TVT final. Oh, Byun's TVP's been a bit shaky lately, so that might be some possibility. Might be some potential. So he pulls over to the side, drops down a depot, gets that underway. A factory coming up on both sides, Reaper on the way, like I say, no multi-racks Reaper on either side of the map this time around, so we are going to get a bit more of a normal Terran versus Terran into those factories coming online for the moment here. Reaper hitting them rocks for a couple of moments, just continuing through as CC continues in, Reaper coming up. Red build orders pretty much so far, right? A little bit different. Second Reaper versus a reactor is going to be the difference that we see right now. So there's a little bit of a difference between the two at the moment. But it is fairly minimal. It means you'll have an extra Reaper a little bit sooner here as Percival, and then you'll have more units of production a little bit quicker as Spirit. She goes Tech Lab here for Percival, so not going to get a reactor quickly at all as his 2 Reapers do check across the map to try and see what's going on. I can't imagine there's ever going to be much opportunity to find much here, right? 2 Reapers should pretty much always just hit a brick wall of other units unless your opponent's being super greedy. Even then, I feel like it's difficult for just these 2 Reapers to wander across the map and see any sort of success here, so mostly just looking for some info, and obviously hopefully don't lose the Reapers while gaining that info. And that's what we play for. Just peel back around. And Hellion is going to come through, get a couple of shots off. Can I just type in chat oof with no context to make them both worry? Yeah. I don't have admin powers, Ravi, I'm sorry. You know what it was? I was about to do it as well. I'm not even a referee in my own game. Thank you so much for the 112-month resub, though. I tried, bro. I tried. Gonna see the Cyclone getting a lock on here. Continue moving about for a few moments. And obviously these units out on the map. And aggressive. Cyclone actually keeps the lock on there. Wow. Because he lost vision. So Spirit lost vision and Percival did not because of his units chasing through. And he's able to kind of get himself a little bit of an edge because of that. So that's kind of crazy. Nicely done by Percival. Good identification. It's kind of wild because it's like you see Cyclone versus Cyclone, so it's like, well, that should always stay locked on. If one stays locked on, so does the other. But yeah, we lost vision because the Cyclone pulled away. But yeah, then you had your other units providing the vision. So yeah, very well done by Percival. Good little moment of the fight there. Give himself a little bit of an edge as the Raven and Interference Matrix start up on both sides of the map. Marines are coming through. Cyclone on the way up. Siege Tank is being added on. Going to see the command center building in the main base. Going to be a 3rd CC. That's something we don't have yet from Percival's side of things. So something to note is we actually do have this drop successfully moving through. Auto turret has to be brought in to defend. Cyclone trying to target down the medevac doesn't have the lock on, and it is going to get that cleanup. So Everything will go down here. This last Cyclone gets, gets locked onto an SCV again, but doesn't get anything else. No third base from Percival. So what's the plan? Is he going to start moving on the map and looking for something? It looks like he might be. As back at home, Spirit's going to have one siege tank popping out. Obviously, this was kind of expensive loss from Spirit. He lost himself, you know, a couple of the units initially, a couple of the Cyclones. The medevac could have been nice. So Percival going to try and get in position here. Raven versus Raven. Both players have one. It's a noteworthy unit on the map right now, obviously, is... Persal actually used his Raven energy already, though, so his Raven's actually low on energy. Raven going to bring that Cyclone into reach of the siege tanks, and we do lose a Cyclone. That's important, right? Because right now, every little loss is going to come into account for something, and... Got the SCV building that command center, so a little bit of a slowdown. Not sure we'll ever kill off the CC, right? Because it'll just finish off and lift up and get away from there, so... We'll just be able to pull out of trouble for now. Cyclone on the bottom. Tries to get a lock on again. Raven taking some shots. A few more hits coming through. Let's go back over to the left side. And yeah, Marines, tanks, the Ravens gathering together currently. Giving a bit of a scan up as you just see other units gathering about. Into the middle we go. More Vikings coming across. I don't think there's much Percival can really do here. He's building his own third CC on location. Currently the SCV count a little bit favoring Spirit, but can't really send those SCVs anywhere too useful because he doesn't have the third base up. So that's what Percival is gaining from being on the map right now. He's stopping Spirit from mining from the third. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Percival's not going to realize just how aggressive this is. He needs to get the hell away from this fight. Yeah, he's kind of seeing now, obviously, all these SCVs pulling through. And this was kind of a wild start. A lot of the Raven energy used on the side of Spirit, so he doesn't have much left casting-wise. And, I mean, what was that from Spirit? Was that literally just like an attempted bust up? But, like, Percival wasn't even sieged up, so it's not like you were trying to bust down a position. A little bit of a faster siege there from Spirit, but we do get the interference matrix down, because, like I said... We still have a Raven advantage on the side of Percival because he did not use his energy just yet. Now both players are without a Raven as that Raven goes down. That was just a crazy move from Spirit. Like, I just don't think he needed to do that at all. No? I don't feel like we needed to play like that at all as the other units gather back about. I presume he was just expecting to have to bust out of a siege. I can only imagine he was expecting to have to bust out of a siege, and so the moment that the siege wasn't there, he was a little bit panicked, and he's like, wait a second, I can kind of jump on you, maybe? Problem is, air control now belongs to Percival, and he's going to get the siege, Liberating position to push the first siege tank back. The SCVs are going to come pulling over as well. Liberator are going to continue to siege up and apply pressure here. Tank goes down. We need to figure this out. We need to deal with this. Combat shields on the way from Spirit, not from Percival. That is an issue in the long term, as the tank's just on siege, currently going to get rid of a medevac, going to get rid of this siege tank as well. Marines just going to fight, and we've got a lot of sieged up tanks right now. This is looking brutal. We win the tank war easily. It's completely one-sided engagement in favor of Percival. GG's, he'll move on through to the finals today as he takes the 2-1. Very well played by Percival, because this was a situation where you could absolutely see that may not necessarily go his way, but was able to kind of bring it through for himself in the end. GG's, well played. And there we have it. Alright, we're waiting for Jumi and Geralt to finish playing, guys. Yeah, we are waiting for Jumi and Geralt to finish playing up, so we're going to give them a few moments. They are in game 3. It's close. It's a close game that they're playing right now, from what I can tell. Just kind of peeking on the French stream quickly. I guess I can show you this if I drag it across. Jumi's ahead on supply a little bit, but it's an interesting position because his opponent is kind of in his base. Sorry, I'm trying to get on the right screen for you guys. There we go. So, yeah, and the time it's taking me to just flip it over, Jumi basically... So Geralt just made a blink into Jumi's main base. And making that blink into that main base is going to be kind of shut down and pushed back, so... Yeah, Geralt just lost a lot of supply there. It was about 106 to 100 when Geralt blinked in. Coming out about down 20 supply kind of tells you where that fight just was at a few moments ago. So this is, again, just off the French stream, guys, so we'll just, we'll kind of just watch from here for a few moments, I guess. And, see if we get a result of this. The winner of this will play Byun, and the winner of that will play Persal as we continue to play through some prize money today. It's a bunch of Zealots getting warped in. I think it's going to go charging forward into this mineral line. Do those probes going to be jumped on. The Stalker's going to try and go onto a prism. Jumi's prism will get across toward the natural expansion, which is nice because it might just be able to stay alive even right now. Wouldn't hate it if it's stuck in the corner. No, the Stalker hitting the assimilator misclick is going to allow a few more Zealots to warp in. We still don't deny the prism. Oh my goodness. So all those Zealots get warped in. They could have all been denied. Mistake from Geralt, as now Jumi's just on top of the third base anyway. And I think Jumi has won this game and is going to set himself up a battle against Byun. You have it. Alright, Jumi against Byun will be coming through. So that's going to be our next matchup here in just a few moments. We'll get that ready to start. For some Terran versus Protoss, guys. We'll run some ads because we need to. And then we'll get ready for that Terran versus Protoss. Byun versus Jumi in the semifinals. Jumi qualifies for the WardiTV May as well. Congrats to him. Good to qualify as a Protoss player because Protoss slots are usually filled up very quickly in these events, so yeah. Alright. We'll take a couple moments and we'll head into this, guys. Kick off into some more action. Perfecto. Probably just a couple minutes for the video. We can go. Alright. Just waiting for... Yep, just make sure the players know that we can go. Not waiting on anything. Give them that confirmation. Perfect. So yeah, Jumi versus Byun and the winner versus Persal. That's going to be how our day plays out. Again, just for some prize money now. First place and second place, $75 and $25. So that's what we're playing for over the course of these games. Lovely. Do. Alright, just waiting for videos, guys, and we should be able to get into this. Get glasses and we'll get into some TVP. Could this be a Korean TVT finals in 2025? I know. The potential is there. Yo, what's up, JRick84? Thank you so much for the gifted subs. Going out to Mosaic Gamer, Italy, Falling Ninja, Thrillium2, and Vorsmith. Thank you so much for the generosity of some gifted subs. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I did slip below 700, so should probably be selling out a bit more again, but I don't know. I always feel kind of weird selling out on the quieter streams. Which is weird, because actually a lot of our support usually comes from some of our smaller streams, as weird as that is. Like, viewership does not always equal you know, the numbers, but yeah. Thanks so much, Jarek, for the gifted sub. Some love in the chat, please. Thanks so much for the generosity. Alright, we're going to go into talking about, guys. Let's get into game number 1 of this best of 3 semi-final between Byun and for Jumi. The timing worked out really well because Jumi obviously just finished up against Geralt. So, while we would have made these guys wait for the stream, they didn't actually really have to wait that long. They were just waiting for other matches to finish. So, nice smooth process for us. We get to cast both semis. We always love that. As in the bottom left-hand corner, our blue Terran play here from the Shopify Rebellion. It is Byun. In the top right corner, our red Protoss player is going to be Jumi from Streamer Zone. Game 1 of this best of 3. Let's off and get this underway. Love to see what our players have in store for us, what their plan may be for these early stages. Okay, we're coming down, barracks coming down. As we get settled on in. Don't mind the selling out at all, just makes sense. I know it does, I don't know. I sell out every single day, right? So I appreciate, you know, obviously some people probably tune in every day, but like, you know, TLDR, I feel like I'm just selling out constantly. I never feel like I stop. So some days I actually do like to just kind of not sell out, even though I probably should. It's crazy, isn't it? I guess that's what we have the button for, the sellout button. But I can't remember which one it is, so I'm not going to spam it right now at the start of this game. Just really remember, is it this one?
Wow,
No.
look at the supply, guys. Look at
No, is it this one?
Have you heard of Twitch Prime?
Yeah.
You can support the stream right now with Twitch Prime. Don't forget to also follow the stream, subscribe to me on YouTube, give me money on Patreon, donate directly, and cheer in the chat. And don't forget to gift all those subs so we can hit that level 5 hype train.
So much easier. There you go. Now I just don't have to go through saying it all, you know. And that version of Woody was so enthusiastic about that level 5 hype train as well, you know. Ah, beautiful. All right, Nexus, Pylon, Cybercore, bit of everything coming through. No real surprises in the early moments here. Everything kind of looking as it should be for the early stages. Yo, what's up, Magic? On the 2-month resub on the Prime, only because I asked with enthusiasm. Wow, see, the sellout button really works, man. The sellout button really does work. Use that one more often, huh? Money. If only we made a Prime sub every time I pressed it, we could run so much more StarCraft. River coming through is going to hit a couple of probes, as we do have the Adept taking position as well. As do have our Adept coming over. Gonna go pushing around. Yo, Dylan James, thank you so much for the gifted subs to Arvintha and Lulu Shore. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So cheery, you had to. literally, like I swear down, this is the pinnacle of realization where it's like past Wardy recorded is actually better at selling out than I am. Is that what's content I'm jaded out about selling out and you guys can tell? Unbelievable. Yo, this is actually pretty serious damage. 4 probes going down as Byun gets in across the main and the natural. Gonna make it 6, gonna make it 7. A couple of Adepts get across there, and wow, Byun is just gonna get so much damage done. And Jumi's just gonna tap out of this game, so that's a classic. Wardy does talk about selling out, and we managed to talk about selling out for an entire 3.5 minutes, which is the length of the game. Classic. Well, that wasn't much to chatter on there, as Byun just gets in, does some work, and we go to game number 2. Well, guys, the game's so fast we don't even run ads between games. Get ready to go. So what's up, Urk the Mighty, coming in with the Prime sub. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you very much indeed. 12 ads per game on Twitch. Sellout is underselling. I mean, it's really simple. You can actually pay to remove the ads. It's incredible. It's a really cool feature. It's called subscribing. We run a lot of ads because ads make up over 50% of our revenue on the stream. And without them, we literally would not be able to continue funding tournaments. So that's That's why we run that many ads. It's that simple. If you don't like them, that's all good. But I feel like it's kind of useless complaining because, yeah. You know, like I could understand it if I was truly just pocketing all the money, but like, we do genuinely run thousands of dollars of StarCraft tournaments, you know? Just want to make sure we hit the 700 sub goal. Hell yeah, back to 700. So yeah, we're trying to maintain 700 subs as best we can, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. WardiTV coming in with the 98-month resub on the Prime as well. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Obviously, I do pocket some money, guys. I do have bills to pay and a life to live, but like, I think it's fair to say that we put a good amount back into tournaments as well, you know? I live like an 1800s peasant to provide you with more StarCraft. Yeah. Yeah. I literally rent out half a room to have my to stream from, and that's it. Ellie actually lives outside on the streets, outside of the room I half rent. Yep. I'm guessing I'm saving up for a life-size Zealot body pillow. Ay, ay, ay. That's coming out with some crackers today. Alright. Game number 2, let's pay attention because obviously last game ended kind of quickly. Next is coming down on the natural. We got a command center coming up too. Byun just kind of got in early and started doing... The reason I think Jumi left so quickly is because it really wasn't anything special from Byun. It was just a couple early of units getting way more damage than they should. It's one thing if he commits to like a Medivac or like a couple extra Hellions and you get some of that damage done. But to get that done off of the Scouting Hellion, Reaper, a second unit showing up because it started to go well and snowballing, I think that's why Jumi taps out so quickly. Because 330 is a very quick point in the game to tap out, and obviously 330 is a very quick point in the game to lose 7 workers at. So yeah, I think sometimes it just kind of gets away from you, you know? Sometimes it just kind of slips a little bit. Let's get ourselves a Stargate coming online. The factory's still coming up. Engineering Bay about to finish. Couple of SCVs on the way through as well. So building all of that up for the moment here. And get that underway. Is the finals best of 5? No, finals will be best of 3 today. It's just a little qualifier. I don't want to make the guys play best of 5 finals and stuff, so we'll just let them play best of 3. Players usually prefer playing the best of 3, so... So yeah, obviously the main event of this will start up at the weekend, guys. Saturday, Sunday, and then I don't remember what day it is next week, but like Saturday, Sunday, and one of the days next week will be group stages, and then yeah, we'll get all that rolling, and playoffs will be next Sunday, I believe, because I'm not here on the Saturday. So yeah. Obviously going to have half our players qualified now already. And obviously be using some of the players that played in these qualifiers to do some of the invites as well. And figure out the rest of our WardiTV May player list. Robo coming up, Phoenix coming through, the +1 attack coming over as well. Attack upgrade coming through. It's obviously going to be nice as we just get pushed across from Byun. This is a map, a 3-player map that obviously does have that rotational imbalance. So in this case, Byun can go from his natural very quickly towards his opponent's natural, and he kind of could hit the main base on his way over there as well. I mean, this map in general is just a shorter rush distance map, so I'm surprised we see it kind of being played. I was surprised we saw it played much at all when it got tested and stuff. But, yeah, some people have been kind of enjoying it. The Phoenix obviously seen here, and I think Byun's going to be kind of cautious about those. The Phoenix obviously can shut down the majority of this army if you let them, so I think Byun is right to back away. This is a more defensive army from Jumi. Because, you know, he's going into a Robo Bay on 2 bases. Like, this is not a situation where you should be trying to press on through and make a whole lot of things happen, really. Definitely a moment or two to sit back and chill out. I think the Marines all pull back and away then, as the Vikings coming up, siege tanks still coming through. Gonna have the Phoenix still chilling overhead. Stim back on the way, the Vikings and the Marines still coming up as well. Just have ourselves the Marines able to get there. Push those Phoenix back away for the moment, so again, push those out of there. Army gathers up, and we just have also Jumi now taking a 3rd base, so tech heavy into the 3rd a little bit later down the line on this one. Nothing wrong with that style of play at all. Against impact combat, plus 1 armor upgrade coming through too. Had a couple Vikings and Marauders on in there as well. Phoenix going down already. Again, just going to be seeing the CC. Going to take position, so again, that 3rd base up. We're going to see a little bit of a macro game developing between these two players. Obviously, a little bit of an improvement from that game 1, 3.5 minute debacle. That all went wrong for Jumi super quickly. Now we get ourselves into a little bit more of an action-packed game coming through as the units relocate around, repositioning a little bit here and there. Just going to be seeing the extended thermal lens coming through. Down in SCV. Phoenix obviously always have potential as well. Could probably just get some of these SCVs transferring between bases if they wanted to. So some opportunities there if you want to try and go with it. And Vikings, the Medevac, Cyclone as well, all just pushing up that right side. But for the moment, those Phoenix are going to get chased the hell away. First Academy's building, we add on an armory, so again all the tech from Byun in the future already coming online here. Interesting obviously because, I mean, Jumi essentially just expands away from his opponent, which he can do. Byun taking the triangle base keeps you nice and defensive across your bases as well. Phoenix still gathering, the rest of the Colossus coming through too. So we see those Phoenix still going to be there. Tanks are going to fire. Weird position. I think Jumi doesn't really want to attack into that, especially with 1-1 done for Byun. Those tanks were looking pretty scary. It looked as though they had a lot of potential. He's going to spread out. I mean, these tanks need to put some work in. The Colossus need to go down. If we don't get rid of the Colossus here, then Byun is in some serious trouble. I mean, this is pretty committed from Jumi because he doesn't have upgrades or anything behind it. There's a few Marauders left over. The Stalkers are going down. The SCV's still pulled in. The Phoenix are now just starting to lift up absolutely anything and everything they can get their hands on. But these Colossus are getting lower and lower. And as the Phoenix drop a few of the units back down, here comes some reinforcements. The Colossus are going to drop. And in the end, Byun's going to play cleanup. And like I say, this felt pretty committed from Jumi. Big send from him. I think he's going to come crashing down in a position of, well, I mean, he killed 26 workers and he's only ahead by 5. So again, you can see where the commitment was. I think Byun is going to be okay coming out of this. Army supply is very good for him. Just struggled to kind of clean up those Colossus. They got a little bit close there for a few moments. Much closer, I imagine, than we initially expected. I'm just going to tap out. He was pretty all in. Just going to back away. And that is going to be that. So GG's. And we're going to have ourselves Byun taking the 2-0 to make it a Korean TVT finals. What? Crazy stuff. Crazy business. Byun versus Persal coming up as a little bit of a money match in the finals. Coming up next. I'll get that on the way, and that'll be our StarCraft for the day. Alright. Percival versus Byun. We will go to Korea, and we'll get that underway. Perfecto. One was the difference. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Jumi was very committed to like a very tech-heavy build, so no upgrades, and then essentially an all-in because he didn't invest into the future still. So, kind of makes sense. And like I say, a reasonable GG timing as well, because he really just failed the all-in. He saw how much army supply was left from his opponent. There's no way for him to rebuild up everything he lost. That one is going to be a done deal. Done dealio. Alright guys, Percival versus Byun, the final match of the day coming through. Just baiting the Terran players. Can we just join the server and being like, wow, Terran's so strong. Beyond with an question mark. Love it. Yeah, thanks for joining us today, guys. Appreciate you all tuning in. Good to see you all. Appreciate you being here. Alright, so these guys should be vetoing probably just a minute or two, guys, and we'll get this underway. And then it's best of 3 TVT to wrap us up. Ley lines already, there you go. Map is coming up and online right now. Percival's TVP and TVZ is very good. You've become a fan of him lately. He's getting better. I think his TVT is pretty good too, honestly. I'm excited to see how he does against Byun. I think his TVT is pretty decent. Alright, I'm going to jump into ley lines, so let's get this underway. Let's kick off into our grand final of the day. Grand final. Little best of 3 finals here, guys. Let's get this going. Let's get this rolling. Let's see what will take place as we have in the top right-hand corner of the map. The red Terran player will come into this as a favorite, so we'll see what we can do. This is Byun. He takes on the blue Terran player to the bottom left corner of the map. Percival. As we get into game number 1 of this best of 3. Let's see what these two have in store for us. Ley lines our opening map as well. One of the maps that survived through to this. Can't talk, can I? Survived through to this map pool from the previous map pool is what I wanted to say. Double racks already from Byun, so he's going to go in base racks as well, so not going to risk it against in case his opponent goes proxy 2 racks. But because his opponent's going run racks double gas, I kind of like this for Percival. The 2 racks Reaper at home should not be able to do too much for Byun aggressively. Percival should be well set up against it with a factory coming in early in this game. Shouldn't be drawn out to his natural too soon and so on. So this actually seems pretty reasonable for Percival in terms of build order initially. But there's obviously a long way to go to truly determine where this one's going to go and how things are going to turn out as our Reapers continue up. The barracks continues in. Orbital command coming in on both sides. Obviously, we'll see that second barracks finishing very shortly here from Byun, and that will give us a good idea of where we're moving to. Next couple of Reapers will continue about. SCV come along, CC on the way up. Reaper coming through, grenade onto the other side, so Reaper going to go back and forth here so far. It's going to be seeing the second Reaper joining up. Going to be coming over here as well. Two Reapers in tandem, going to push back a couple of Reapers of Byun already. So Byun just getting pushed back out to the center and shoved away here for the moment. A couple of those Reapers going to hang up on the high ground for a few moments. Bunker will be starting. And yeah, two Reapers and a Hellion going to be hanging about. Grenades coming down. Hellion going to be firing back the other way, but it's actually going to work out for Byun. Oh, that's not good for Persal. This is not really a situation where you should get out microed that heavily, right? Losing one Reaper for 2 and a Hellion. I mean, you already lose one SCV here, going to lose a second, and maybe more. The Cyclone is not ready yet. This is disastrous. So many SCVs off the line, not mining as well. And yeah, Byun is on, you know, well, he was on the latest CC, but now he's not. His CC is going to be at a lead. Oof. Barracks back into the main base. Cyclone building up, a couple of Marines are coming about. Just gonna have ourselves the orbital coming through. And yeah, Starport is about to finish up in the main base as the refinery comes in. Byun definitely just in a nice little position. Few workers ahead. And obviously both his barracks. Again, it's just nice that he's had both his barracks at home while doing this so far. It's definitely been a nice position for him to set up into up until now as the medevac comes about. Loading up a couple of those Cyclones, just going to bring those over as well. And you have our Raven and Interference Matrix production continuing through for a few moments. Cyclone's locking on, Bunker taking damage. Cyclone's actually going to get rid of the medevac here, so Byun now just has to chase these Cyclones down. SCVs are going to come in and threaten this around. Yo, we're going to get a siege tank though. Okay, that wasn't even half bad. Raven and a few Marines gathered together. Just seeing the Stimpack still coming through. Siege tank setting up as well. Raven gathering. It's going to be having a, again, Raven tank. CC and a couple of SCVs continue to come about for now. Raven just going to continue over. Tank will siege. We are just going to take this position. Persal going to start sieging the natural of Byun. Trying to use that to his advantage for the moment as we just have this bunker going to take a few more shots. Going to get shot away at. Actually successfully salvaged the bunker. No further attack. Obviously, if you attack the bunker nowadays, salvages get cancelled, so could have been easily stopped, but doesn't happen. And yeah, these Ravens are going to threaten. I mean, does Percival want to dive on this? He's obviously feeling pretty good about the idea of being aggressive at the moment. One Matrix on a tank, but Byun unsieged the tank, so he's paying attention. Pulls it back. Oh, going to drop the auto turrets down. SCVs are going to pull in. Byun? bit scary. He doesn't have stim yet. What a great time from Persal. He's hitting in the exact moment where Byun is at his absolute weakest. He is hitting in the exact moment where Byun just does not have much strength about him at all. Tank is going to go down there. Okay, Byun is in trouble. Like, now stim is available, but you're going to have 3 siege tanks. There's just not a lot of buffer for those siege tanks, I guess, is maybe the bigger issue at the moment. Have to start repairing up this command center. You don't want to let that just burn down for no reason. And as these tanks are putting some good damage onto it, here we go. Auto turret to try and buy you some time. Oh, hits the SCVs with the siege tanks initially. I feel like you really need to be focusing on Marines here. 14 SCVs go down. Byun breaks out. My concern for Percival is that he's not set up for a longer game. He has a 3rd base, but Byun is so far ahead on bio upgrades that from this point on, I actually feel like Byun should be able to get on the map and start playing Denial on that 3rd base, for example. Well, yeah, like I said, I think with Stim available and Marines and Medivacs, you can absolutely get on the map and start doing things, and that's exactly what Byun will try and start doing now. Marines will load into the main, a few SCVs. Start to pull back immediately. 2 SCVs going down, just going to see the couple of Ravens coming over. The SCVs continue to try and pull through. The auto turret coming into place. Marines just get chased off over to the side. This is nice. 8 SCVs going down. We will lose the medevac, but this is the exact kind of thing that makes up for some of your losses previously, right? So, nice to get some grabs in there. And you have the 2-2 upgrades coming about, the combat shield coming over. Our tank and Marines continue to come up as well currently. There we go, Marines medevac is going to go across. Have ourselves a sense tower up on both sides, so both players have an eye around their 3rd base, and work counts are kind of even. I thought Byun was going to be able to do more with the stim advantage, to be honest. Felt like he was going to have a little bit more of an impact. Marines coming about. I think the medevac's coming up the top. Away they go. Yeah, got the 2-2 coming around. +1 vehicle weapons coming over. Combat shield and the +1 vehicle weapons coming up as well. Well, like I say, I mean, Byun still has advantages from the early game. The 2-2 being at a hefty lead is obviously impactful. Not every fight in a TVT comes down to the infantry upgrades, but it's definitely still got a lot of uses, right? There's a lot of times where this can come through. And the 2-2 coming about, +1 vehicle weapons coming in on both sides. Those Marines will sit chilling. I mean, Persal will again be the player who's out on the map aggressively and just trying to find a position to attack on into. I like that. I've said it a lot in TVT. It's probably one of my go-to sayings for this matchup, but I genuinely do think having map control and moving around and being the aggressor in TVT does so much, because it really means that you can find positions to kind of break into where your opponent doesn't have that opportunity. Obviously, you're also putting yourself at risk if you're attacking badly, but like the game feels much more under your control if you're the one moving around. See, 12 Vikings gather. Tank just gonna sit there. The tank's chilling as well. I see Byun trying to stretch out towards his 4th base already. We're going to be doing exactly the same. So obviously a little bit of a different expansion pattern between the two. Byun going across the top of the map, and Percival going up the side rather than through the bottom. So a little bit of a different choice on 4th bases. What makes this very interesting is that means that those players are both going to be expanding toward each other. Their 4th base are going to be toward each other, and it's actually a very narrow gap from 4th base to 4th base now. So it's basically going to be sense tower range for both sides. So if you combine the sense towers, like that's just going to be base to base. So that's, yeah, getting pretty close on the top left. And that does mean that the bottom right of the map stays very open, because obviously a lot of the aggression might come towards the top left. But this bottom right is still a pathway through directly to the natural of Byun, and obviously if you get the natural, moving in toward the main is a huge factor as well. What Byun's position base does, fourth base does, is it actually really denies the kind of the drop play a little bit. Like, drops will go to the fourth before they hit the main. As these Liberators from Persal are going to show up and strike. We get rid of a tank because of it, and now we're going to be able to get into the natural. Double tank siege up over here. This natural commander center is in trouble, as Persal is going to get to work. What's he going to go for? He needs to decide right now. He's going to start going for engineering base, maybe? Nope, just going to get SCVs. Target fire something, Percival, please. Oh my god. This was a very frustrating watch. I feel like he could have had anything, and he ended up with... He got a lot of SCVs, I guess, in the end, which is nice. Obviously, upgrades would have been great, especially because Byun's constantly been ahead on upgrades in this game. So upgrades would have been nice. The orbital would have been good, but I guess just SCVs is also going to have, you know, some value in itself as well. So there's a little bit of, you know, love to be had there. Wasn't the craziest of plays. It just felt like he wasn't really targeting anything. But yeah, you get 13 SCVs. That's still pretty significant. This Marine Tank Force will actually come pressing through the middle of the map just that little bit. So heading down toward the bottom left side. Ooh, tank's already sieged from Percival. Has a great tank line in general. Just needs a couple of Libers again to push these tanks away now. As he actually unsieges in a big way and looks to reposition almost immediately there. Byun's going to start unsieging himself. He's going to start pulling back. And Percival will see that, especially with these couple of medevacs that are returning for him back to everything else right now. TC flowing across, 33 upgrades coming through, plus 2 vehicle weapons, a couple of Ravens, Libs, and tanks all coming up as well. So continue to bring that over as the Marines get there for the medevac. Very nearly goes down. The tank's going to come siege up again. You're seeing the anti-arm missile going to strike a bunch of those Marines. The Viking's going to shoot. A couple of those medevacs going down. Medevacs are falling. Uh-oh. Percival losing a lot of his core parts of the army. Only really has an air army left. A couple of tanks in the back might just about keep us going for the moment. Missile turret, Sentinel going to be coming down as well. I'm just going to see a couple of Ravens still settling. Let's have ourselves the plus 2 vehicle weapons coming through, the Neo Steel plating coming up, or Starports on the way through as well here currently. Just take a few moments as the Byun army tries to push forward. Gets a lot of his tanks siege. Can these Marines fight through soon enough? Taking a little bit of time. The Libs are going to unsiege and push a bit further forward, but they need to be careful not to run into Marine range. Could be disastrous if you let it be, so a little bit of a reason for caution right now. I mean, Byun just trying to brute force his way in. He's definitely won a couple of fights, but Percival's hanging on in there. I mean, lots of CCs coming up. Percival definitely setting up for the longer game here right now. Marines and tanks are just going to start pressing straight on forward. We are going to be seeing Byun once again coming in from this bottom side. Still trying to just break on through. And the defense, I think, is still going to kind of hang on in there. Libs will siege up, forcing the tanks to unsiege him back away. A lot of tanks going to die here if we just leave them sieged. Fortunately for Byun, Percival kind of donates a few Marines to the cause. It's a little awkward. The Vikings and the Ravens continue to gather about. Libs will unsiege, and we have once again Byun positioning himself to ready up and move forward. He's taking damage. Liberator is going to try and siege up. We are going to be seeing the Marines still trying to push through. A couple of Vikings going down. CC load's just going to pull over to the side. The SCV is going to go for a bit of repairing. Those two Ravens coming up from Percival. Again, +1 ship weapons, +1 vehicle playing. A couple of Libs, tanks, Marines. All on the way out currently as we have so many Marines. Like, you look at the production tabs, and Byun is just brute forcing Marine production. And Percival's getting all of the tech units, which to me feels like it's better for Percival if he can just keep holding on. Tanks firing away. Marine's going to stem up. A couple of Viking shots going to get through for the medevac right there. Hits coming across as the interference matrices go down. We will fire up a few hits, so the Marines and the +1 vehicle plating coming through as well currently. CC coming about, a couple of tanks building. Marines still on the way. It's our turret, CC, Vikings. And like I say, just all the tech from Percival as he continues to hang on in here on ley lines, just trying to keep himself alive for the moment. Some resources lost like 24 to 21k, so Byun is trading worse, but not too much worse. Could have been a whole lot worse. So the Marine's going to actually dive through. Actually, Percival the one to get a little bit of a grab here this time around. What's really fun is obviously the base count is still pretty respectable on both sides as well. So you actually really do kind of continue to have just a game in play here. And as more and more Ravens come by, I genuinely do think Byun ends up in trouble. I think his brute forcing Marine kind of numbers are just not going to get it done because they just haven't been able to get it done so far. And Percival going to stretch out to another base here through the bottom. What a fantastic effort here by Percival. Because he definitely had a kind of a bit of a lead and it definitely slipped away a little bit. And now it's kind of coming back, because like I say, I think his composition is much better for the long run than what Byun is trying to play with currently. Big drop from Byun. Well, this is the kind of thing that might be a little bit better. Right, and you're actually kind of getting by, not just kind of brute forcing into the defensive lines that Percival had set up, so finding a bit of a move. Now the rest of this army setting up. Obviously the attack in the main base still ongoing. It's going, but it's maybe not doing things as quickly as they might like. But is this multi-prong and multitasking going to be a bit too much for Percival? Because that's where Byun may just be able to excel right now. He's going to dive through this Landry Fortress will force, just as Percival was setting up on the bottom. The attack in the main draws him away, and then there's attack on the left side is going to successfully knock down a base, and may not be done just yet. Percival going to find another orbital that's just flying around here as well, so that's an easy grab. We take those. Refineries dropping, SCVs falling. It's 2+2 ship weapons and vehicle plating on the way up here from Percival. The Raven and the tanks building through, the CC's on the way. Marines will hit the command center as another few Marines going to hit the CC a few more moments. I mean, push that to the corner. Big moments from Byun, denying a lot of the potential income of Percival, and also just pulling him apart has done a lot for him to be able to actually get in and actually win some fights and do well in some fights. Byun, for the first time in a long time, is actually making significant progress in these trades, and he's done a lot to basically nullify the power of just being able to sit there on the army that was there from Percival. Forcing it to stretch out and pull around really revealed its weakness a little bit. And, you know, obviously, it's the strength of Byun's army as well, so that drop, absolutely critical. And yeah, kind of rough for Percival to let that through, because if that doesn't get in, this very much so is still a game in hand, with everything to be fighting for. Byun with a 50 supply lead. Most of that in workers, so he's just going to be able to produce so much more. At this point, obviously, trading a little bit badly is very acceptable because you can absolutely reinforce through it. Some more Marines just stepping through again. Just going to be seeing a couple tanks trying to siege up. Hitting away. Those Marines kind of melt, but like I say, Byun can replace the Marines very easily. And he still is mostly on Marine tank production, but he's also adding a few Vikings in, so he's looking for some air control. If he can get air control back in his favor, you can nullify a lot of the Raven play. Top what's coming up, Viking and additional Marines coming around as well. Again, a couple Vikings, the Marines, the Starport coming through. Vikings, Marines coming up on the side of Byun. Now we're going to have ourselves the army across the bottom settling. Oh, a little Matrix went down over there, so a little bit of an opportunity as Persal looks to try and clinch a few of the tanks of Byun. Byun is now starting that kind of moment on ley lines where you start wrapping around the outskirts of the map with your bases. It looks like you're trying to create a giant hug on your opponent as you just take base after base. We see this a lot in PvT lately, where the pros ends up on all the bases around the edges, and the Terran kind of gets swallowed up. That's we're going to be seeing that now in this TvT, as it's just about for Byun figuring out how he's going to approach the fights into some of these final units. Like I say, these tanks are a problem, but he actually gets some great tank shots off here. That's going to nullify a lot of the tank fire, so you can engage into this. Anti-armor missile should not matter. And Persal is not going to have a lot left beyond this. Those tanks may be enough to hold on for now, but we are dropping into more and more trouble here. Marines and tanks gather. A few Vikings are going to chase those Ravens. If there's nothing to protect the Ravens, then you're going to lose those units, which have been such a critical part of, you know, being able to defend and being able to stay in this game at all, basically. Starport just lands down. A couple more of these Marines getting blasted. Tanks on the way through. Marines still producing. But our Vikings pulling away once again. And GG gets called. Byun wrestles this first game away from Percival and really does then brute force his way into a victory. Because, like I say, this was really like just massive units and just send and send and send as Byun got that going in the end and got that win. So he takes a 1-0 lead. This is just a best of 3, guys. So second map coming up. A fun series. Fun. It's actually been a fun. Honestly, these two qualifiers yesterday and today have been surprisingly good. And I say that with utmost kind of belief that, like, you know, they've just been better than expected, you know? And there ain't nothing wrong with admitting that. We've had some really good games in them, so it's been very cool. Alright guys, we're going to get into game number 2 here in a couple of seconds, heading into Ultra Love in a few moments' time. Let's start this off. In the top right side, our red Terran player taking the 1-0 lead. Staying in red, it's going to be Byun. Up against the blue Terran in the bottom left, it is Percival. Alrighty then, down into these next game into Ultra Love. I mean, this is obviously potentially last game of the day. I really have had some great games today, though. Like I said, just some small qualifiers, but some really fun action. Of course, the winner of this takes $75 home as well. Second place will take 25. Be nice to see Persal be on a bit of a run. Excited to see him in the tournament as well. Should be great to have him. Should be exciting to see what he can pull out and bring us. As the CC moves into the orbital. Reaper on the way. Both players mirrored up in terms of that timing, but of course there's a second gas on the side of Percival where Byun is playing the single gas. So that's where we will sit right now. Tractor going through, Depot and the orbital command coming up as well. CC just building in, Reaper is continuing up and online. Getting that all going for now. CC halfway done from Byun. As well, CC starting up as well, just again bringing all of that through for the moment. Because of that double gas, Percival is a little bit later to the command center, so that's the real difference at the moment here. Otherwise, here's at least going to be expansion apiece. See if Percival can do anything early to kind of, you know, take advantage of the fact that Byun is going to be expanding a little faster. Byun never wants to win a world championship after just his late game style. Isn't that what makes Byun Byun though? You know what's crazy to me is that Byun can actually play pretty good late game too. It's just especially when he gets ahead, he feels like he can absolutely just win games on those low attack units. Also, you make it sound like Byun is not already a world champion. Never forget 2016. Admittedly, mostly with the help of Reapers. Wasn't much late game there, but he was very good then. I mean, he got, you know, stole the show with the Reapers, but it was much more than the Reapers as well. The Marines go down, and this is bad for Byun as he loses out on those other units. Cycling going to be there. Reaper will go down. Hellion falls. The Hellion goes down as well. 3 SCVs dropping initially, so 3 workers going down. Still got a tank and the Marines gathering up, the medevac joining through. Byun always amazes me when he has these moments of like some days it feels like Byun wakes up and he can just fight against anybody. Like, remember when he came back from military and he won the Aces ROG? Like, that was ridiculous. Beat Serral, beat Maru. That truly was just a ridiculous result, you know? But yeah, I know what you mean. Definitely, he doesn't have consistency because of the way he plays as well, right? There's definitely a factor to that as also. Couple of Vikings coming up on either side. The siege tank still building through. SCVs coming into play. It's the games versus Serral and ROG. Yeah, it's one of those series which I think a lot of people would like. If you ask people a series they remember of Byun, that series versus Serral and ROG is probably one of the ones that a lot of people would name. It was very, very, very good. Never forget Serral flying his Mutalisks into the Widow Mines. A rare moment where Serral looked human. What's up, Siri? Thank you so much for the 31-month resub. May the 7th be with you. Thank you so much. Appreciate the 31 months. May the 7th be with you too. We're just gonna, is that our phrase for the whole month now? Percival was trying to get aggressive here, but Byun is going to be scary enough to push him back and not let that army get in position. Cyclone finds a lock onto the medevac. That's a little bit awkward. Has to drop off the tank. Oh, actually gets the Cyclone. But we get the medevac still. Those Vikings getting some good pokes and prods as well. Second starport coming up from Percival, so he's going to basically all in. I don't know if I love it, honestly, because Byun's going to be on stim. I feel like the second starport was extremely late. Byun's going to have so much of a bio setup already. I don't think we can actually really kind of siege Byun and really kind of bully him, because I think Byun's going to be able to fight back and fight in with the stim. Just Cannon comes down, the tanks retreat away, a couple of Vikings tanking the Marine coming about as well, a couple more depots coming up. Vikings gonna shoot, Medevac gets chased away. Combat shield will start up on the side of Byun as well. Again, there's a couple engineering bays still on the way through too. Need to bring that online for the moment as we just have ourselves the couple of Vikings making their way out and about. Persal obviously all about the tech units, all about this push forward. Remember, he went second starport, but he's losing Vikings right now, which is not ideal. Ooh, Byun needs to actually finish off those Vikings though, and the Marines got there for some shots. That's going to be big. Now Byun does lose a lot of his Viking control. Still just building 2 Vikings at a time versus the 3 of his opponent. I was excited for Byun to have a few more Marines at this point, but he's still only really kind of built. He's only just now starting the reactors on those barracks, so he's actually not going to quite have the Marines that I was hoping he would. He's going to lose himself another Viking here as well. I wonder if it's worth Byun kind of cutting Viking production, or if it's just always going to be good to kind of keep building more. He is actually going to get a Viking control here a little bit because there's the Marines. Tank sieging up against a tank there. That should go the way of Byun, I believe. If he target fires it, he will lose the tank in return because of the Liberator, but honestly still not bad. The Viking hits the Liberator. Might be worth hitting the Viking instead. He should be able to get that Viking. Oh, the Liberator gets the final shot, so if he didn't hit the Lib the first time, he probably would have gotten away with that one. Byun hanging on in there. 10 army supply down. Obviously his opponent is pressuring forward. Third CC coming up from Persal behind this. His own stim on the way. So he's starting to get into a follow above this. But he definitely has the army that can pressure and poke in right now. And it makes it a very difficult defense for Byun. He's just going to stim the Marines up and pull a few STVs. Don't know if I love that. There's a lot of units going down. Liberator sieges. Tank pulls away. Vikings still fighting. A few of the Marines getting underneath. A couple of those Vikings still dropping down. 1-1 upgrade's about to finish. Stimpak coming through. Tanks will go pressing forward. Vikings and the Lib coming through as well. I think Byun's in trouble, guys. He's got the upgrades, but he's not really got the units to make use of those upgrades. And the control of just tech units here is going to be huge. The Vikings will probably want to land against this. The Vikings actually taking a while to land, and it gives the SCVs a better chance than they maybe should have had. As Byun defends, it's still going to cost him a lot of workers. 11 SCVs go down. He's down by 13. Like I say, the upgrades are there for Byun if he can live through and see a future, and he does knock down a lot of the tech of his opponent in that. Like I say, those Vikings landing kind of out of sync from each other might have actually been the costly part of this. Vikings will shoot. One Viking goes down already. Marines and a tank coming over still. All just sitting in there. A few Marines and the siege tank coming about. Armory still coming online as well. Continue to bring that into play currently. One on the combat shield coming about as well. Army of Byun out down to the bottom. And Byun actually getting into a position here, and this is one of those moments where actually just not having much army left over from Persal, you're going to start seeing some of the tech of Byun in terms of the upgrades and so on, actually getting a chance to shine. And there's a couple of tanks right now. This is just a good position. This is always a good position on Ultra Love. The attack over onto the natural, essentially. These Marines will lose their medevac, but they don't get Viking down in the process. They're still going to do pretty decently for themselves. More tank shots coming through. They are going to settle for the moment. second TT coming about, +1 vehicle weapons coming in. And get the tanks, marines, and medevacs building up from Byun as we speak. Landry Fortress also on the way through there as well. A couple of Vikings immediately in position to push those medevacs away. Looks like Persal will finally be able to come through and clean this up. Wasn't cheap though. I mean, actually cost him quite a few marines still. So a few marines going down alongside everything there. What are we settling into? I mean, 73 to 61 workers. Byun actually takes a work lead after all of this. Getting some damage done really helped him. Has helped him along leaps and bounds from where he was at when first holding off that attack of Percival. Man, that was turned into quite a little position, huh? And CC floating about overhead. Just going to see the 2-2 coming in on both sides, +1 vehicle weapons coming up as well. Couple tanks, couple of marines. All on the way out. Byun has just catapulted himself forwards in this game. What a crazy, I could say, a crazy turning point. I felt like Percival had done a lot and done real good, but like his defense has not been spot on since then. Like I say, just the fact that the fight could have been a little better, and that maybe would have helped him. Well, Marine Tank is going to continue to head down to the bottom side. A couple of tanks are set up. Byun is just going to be threatening at this point, man. It's crazy how quickly the supply has just flipped, and suddenly it's just so controlling the situation for Byun. He sieges his tanks, knocks a missile turret down, and just starts to make progress out on the map here. And I keep pushing those tanks in position. That one was in a little bit of a scary spot, but this is a refinery that's obviously going to get denied. Love the target on the SCVs initially too. Tank in range actually taking a beating as well. Byun just finding ways to extend his advantage, because obviously knocking down refineries, knocking down gas income is going to make it much more difficult to afford all the good units in a TVT. So now we drop into the natural again, and this is just something that we've not dealt with well at all as Percival so far. Percival's starting to counterattack across the map, which is certainly something. It's going to take him a little bit of a while to get going. As Byun's actually going to meet him already. Tank sieged up. Oh, this is not good at all for Percival. His tank is not sieged currently. He's going to be eating tank shots on the Marines, and this is going wrong. His natural is under fire from a drop. His fourth base is under fire from a siege line. His middle of the map counterattack gets shut down. GG gets called. Byun does come out as just the better TVTer in this series, because Percival had some good moments and had some good opportunities. But Byun, like I say, just comes out as the stronger player in the end. GG's, well played. Cool to see Persal have such a good run, though, and super excited to see him in the tournament. He'll be playing WardiTV May this weekend or early next week. Very exciting. Alrighty, guys. Like I say, just a quick little qualifier for us today. Nothing so crazy long or anything. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Hope you guys had fun. And like I say, it's been an absolute pleasure. I hope to see you guys again tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to do some GSL casting. So we're going to do some GSL replay casts. We'll be doing today's GSL games tomorrow, and then on Friday we'll be doing tomorrow's GSL games, if that makes sense. We'll probably start like an hour later than usual, just because it's replays and maybe to not overlap with GSL live as much. But yeah, I know a lot of people are looking forward to it, because not a lot of people want to watch GSL on the Korean platform and stuff, so we'll be doing that. It's going to be a fun way for me to watch the GSL games as well. Always fun to cast while we watch, so yeah. Alright, guys, I'm trying to think if there's anything else to really say, but I don't think there is. I think it's just a plain and simple outro today. Like I say, be back to next couple of days. There will be the group stages of this tournament on Saturday and Sunday, so that's what's coming up over the next few days if you're interested. Set of ads on the outro. We'll host somebody up and spread the StarCraft love. We appreciate you guys. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.